Guys, we're going to be talking live tonight about Dana White trying to amend the Ali Boxing Reform Act of 2000. We'll talk all about it. We'll also talk about Top Rank. Where are they going to end up? We'll see all of this and much, much more on the latest edition of WaraWeek Boxing.
W.A.W presents Big Time Boxing USA on WaraWeek Radio.
Guys, welcome. Happy Monday evening to all of you guys. And I tell you what, this is a very interesting time, all right, in boxing. This is a transition. And I tell you what, this is, we're gonna talk all about it, guys, because now people within the industry that I've spoken to about the Dana White issue, they have a lot to say, and they're mixed on everything, right? And I can understand why, and we're gonna explain all of it, right? But in my opinion, this proves pretty much everything that we've been telling you on this channel for years as to why Dana White was never able to infiltrate our beloved boxing and start his own league before. And it was because of the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act of 2000, right? It originally proposed in 96. It took shape and was passed in 2000, and then they made some amendments, and it was just amended in 2003, and that was the last of it. Now this is going to be called the Muhammad Ali Boxing Revival Act, and they're going to waste taxpayer money on this, all because Dana White wants to make his own title. Now he's saying that that's all it is. It's, oh, I want to make my own title. But guys, understand something. And you never heard it anywhere else except for this channel. Because most of these platforms or most of these channels on YouTube, they don't know anything about the business. And I'm going to tell you guys why. And we're going to talk about this, not only this. We're also going to talk about Top Rank, the future of Top Rank, and why they're having seemingly so much trouble landing on another streaming platform or another network. I'm going to talk all about that, guys. We're also going to talk about the newly crowned WBO champion at 54, Xander Zayas. Can he actually compete amongst the badasses at junior middleweight? Well, we'll see what you guys think, and I'll let you know what I think. And if you guys want to join me, be sure and click the link. Because I tell you what, this is it's going to be an interesting show, guys. Dominic, I tell you what, this is the only time I'm going to recognize one of your. Now, God bless you, my friend. Long lives. Okay, Mr. Troll, Mr. Dominic, Tell you what, if you want me to recognize any more of your posts tonight, God bless you, my friend. You're gonna have to send me a Cash App or something, or a super chat. Otherwise, I'm not going to pay any mind to any of your posts tonight because they're largely negative and they're trolling in nature. Say, man, God bless you and thank you for joining us. But look, there's a reason for this, and once again, no other channel told you about any of this, right? Except us. There's a reason why Dana White insisted to everyone involved that they call their stand-up fighters boxers, right? Instead of boxers, they called them strikers. There's a reason why Dana White was very insistent to everyone involved, including Joe Rogan, his commentator, to refer to your stand-up fighters as strikers exclusively and not boxers. And there was a reason for that. And we were the only channel that, and if any journalists that I knew of, that ever explained why. And we'll get into that as soon as I welcome my brother, Neverfold Sports. Welcome to the show, sir. Good to see you, man.
Yo, what's good, Joseph?
I tell you what, man. I think that we're embarking on one and done with Dana White in boxing.
Man, let's get into it, man. Like, I haven't heard a lot of people talked about they got Congress to agree upon a law. I didn't dig to it too deep, but I already knew about it since they were trying to repeal and
amend,
change up the Ali Act.
Yeah, so they're trying to amend the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act.
Yeah, so my question was always this: how are you in a sport trying to help the sport when you're literally trying to take away the main thing that's literally there to protect everybody involved, number one, which is the fighters?
Well, from what I understand, right, and this act was enacted by Congress to protect the fighters exclusively. Protect
Are you
the
talking
fighters.
about the new one?
The original one.
Yeah, the original.
And look, I understand where the deliberation is, because promoters, and it's not the fighters' fault, it's the promoters' fault to try and attract talent. And this was a terrible trend that was started by Al Heyman when he started PBC, with all of the hundreds of millions of dollars that he got from Waddell Reed, the hedge fund.
Yeah,
he was overpaying talent, inflated purses that far exceeded their market value.
I mean, that's
to attract talent. Okay, now it started this trend, and once again, he's not the only culprit. Then Eddie Hearn started doing it. And now Turki Al-Sheikh is the latest guy to do that. Pay guys triple and quadruple their market value at times, just to try and attract talent to put the best fights together. But now they've painted themselves into a corner. And so what Dana White is saying, well, all we're trying to do is we're trying to make our own title so we don't have to depend on the sanctioning organizations. Bull.
That's literally what the Ali Act is there to do.
No, that's not all it's there to do. And I'm going to explain this, because most people don't know
now. Look
how it protects fighters.
I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna allow you to finish your point. But the whole thing is, you cannot be the promoter, the manager, you hold the belt, you are owner of the league. Like, that's literally monopolizing the sport. Go ahead.
So yeah, that's nothing though. This is a smokescreen, guys. So I was just about to explain. Do you know why UFC? Do you know why how they get away with short-changing their fighters, underpaying them, and they don't have to be transparent. They don't have to open the books and show them.
Yep.
And the fighters and the management of these fighters, they can complain all they want. And UFC doesn't have to open the books and show them. And why? Because they're not protected under the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act. What the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act, the biggest way that they protect fighters has nothing to do with the sanctioning organizations. What it makes promoters do and networks, it makes everything public record, where they have to be transparent of the ticket sales, the proceeds, the gross gate, the licensing fee. Yeah. All of the money they make has to be shown to the fighters and the management of the fighters. Now, let's go back to UFC. Why was Dana White so insistent on forcing all of his employees to refer to his stand-up fighters as strikers and not boxers?
So that way they won't be under the Ali Act.
That's it. And I'm the only podcaster, I'm the only outlet that ever shed light on that and pointed to that. No other journalist, not Fat Dan Raphael, not Mike Cappinger, nobody figured that out.
I guess we're on the same boat, because I also talked about that, and ever since I've been talking about it, I've been getting backlash from fans. Like, oh, like, you're not a fighter. Why you worried about that? Oh, yo, we only want the big fights. Like, I've had, like, ever since I've seen, like, the number one thing they wanted to do was to amend the Ali Act, I already knew what type of timing they were on. And every time they made an update about it, I talked about it. Every time I talked about it, the people in the boxing community never liked it. But the recent time it just happened with the latest Congress and all that, I did not look into it, because I already knew, like, what they were trying.
Yeah, they haven't repealed anything yet. They haven't amended anything yet.
I know.
They're going to meet with Congress, and once again, I can't see any politicians voting in favor of amending something that is not going to protect and be in the best interest of the athletes.
See, the thing
once again, boxing, here, listen, once again, boxing, unlike the NFL, unlike the NBA, unlike the MLB, they don't have a players union. Yeah. They don't have anything that protects these fighters. Okay? So, welcome, Ugo. How you doing, my friend?
Welcome, Joseph. Or thank you. I mean, yeah, keep going. Keep going. I was listening.
Okay, so this is a problem. Okay, so, and the fighters and the promoters really dug themselves into a hole. This is why you see a lot of people on the fence on this. Because on one hand, the fighters have been pricing themselves out and requesting absurd amounts of money, i.e. Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta. Now, once again, that far exceeds their respective market value. Okay? And it's been making it virtually impossible, where promoters are forced to overpay these guys if they really want to see these matchups materialize.
But also, you also got to put Canelo in there, because he asked $200 million.
Yeah, but see, that's ridiculous. And Turkey Al-Sheikh, he's just stupid for having to pay that. That's ridiculous. But unlike the other fighters that I just mentioned, minus maybe Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
Those guys, Gervonta and Canelo, they actually put asses in seats and sell pay-per-view units. The other guys, Devin Haney, give me one network that he's actually made money for.
Well,
ESPN
all that information is not open to the public. It's boxing, so it's like, unless
no, you're wrong about that. No, you're wrong about that, because it's public record because of the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act. You could contact the Nevada State Athletic Commission tomorrow, and they have to show you how many tickets were sold, how many were comped, what was the live gate, and they will give you the purses of the fighters.
So how come
everything is transparent? Now, Dana White is trying to say, Well, I'm only interested in. I'm not interested in all of that. I'm only interested in, just keeping the sanctioned organizations from making a monopoly and then allowing us to make our own belts.
But
But that's not true. That's a smokescreen. He wants to close the books on the fighters so they cannot demand transparency and drive that market value up.
If there's no transparency, the fighters can't say nothing. Whatever the league want to do, that's what's gonna happen. We see the same thing in the UFC. Look at Ngannou. Everybody thought that he was being hard on the UFC, or he was. They were basically saying that he ran away so he won't fight the tough fights. But really, like, he's smart for doing what he did, because all the things that he was trying to get, like union, transparency.
Hold on real quick. Dominic, once again, dude, super chat, brother. But I'm going to point this out just to show you that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Donald Trump equals a men. Dude, last time I checked, he didn't pass any bills. Okay, he can veto. But if you get a majority in Congress, he can't do a damn thing about it. He's not the one who comes up with bills. It's Congress. It's the House and the Senate. Okay, dude, learn how the government works, brother, before you actually comment. Let the adults speak.
Nah, they just high off that, that fraud, whatever. They think he can do whatever. So
I'll say this. This is really going to be a terrible look for Dana White trying to come into boxing and shortchange these fighters. Once again, I always stated that's the only reason why he's not coming into boxing, because he can't figure out how he's going to be able to shortchange these guys. But this also puts a spotlight on a serious problem. And Turki Al-Sheikh, he came into this business with the best intentions.
Best intentions?
No. Turki Al-Sheikh, yes, he came in with the best intentions, wanting to make the best fights possible. But he didn't know. But he didn't know how the business worked. And once again, if you pay fighters inflated purses, it never ends well for the health of the sport. And here's why. Because then you ultimately, it makes it look, put it this way, like Boots Ennis. He's got a real problem moving up to 54. He wants a tune-up.
He wants tune-ups.
Here, listen. He wants a tune-up, right? But if he got paid $3 million rock for fighting David Avanesian, how much do you think he's going to expect for a tune-up at 54 when the money's not there? Who's going to pay for it? It's going to force his events to be on pay-per-view. And once again, they're not going to do it anymore. DAZN has already stated no more pay-per-view events. So who's going to pay for it? Is it going to drive up prices again? So this is a problem. So it makes it, when you pay out inflated purses, and Al Heyman found this out the hard way, so did Eddie Hearn. It makes it virtually impossible to put the best fights on unless you pay these guys inflated purses. So the fighters didn't help their cause any. So now there are a lot of people involved in the business that are saying, hey, you know what? Maybe Dana White, maybe we should go along with him and close the books on these guys so we can actually make this a reasonable market again. Maybe this is the reset that we need. Okay, but it never, whenever you take away that transparency, then it never ends well for the fighters involved.
So let me ask you this. How come even you talking, right? But you're giving Dana White all the blame when really everybody should be talking about Dana White, Turkey, and everybody that's involved with the TKO Boxing League, because they're not involved in it to help boxing. They're in it trying to.
No, dude, stop. Okay, since Dana White's involvement, right? Have we not seen the best fighting the best? Of course we have.
So,
but it's cost him, and he's been bleeding tens of millions of dollars. Did we not get undisputed between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk twice? Did we not get Arthur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol when there was no money in the States. We've been seeing the best fights with Turki Al-Sheikh, but he's tired of losing money. And I know everyone says, well, he doesn't care about the money. Really?
Never even made back his money since he's been spending.
That's right. So now he's painted himself into a corner. Why do you think he's hired Dana White? Because Dana White wants to shortchange the fighters and do a large reset on the sport, especially in the American market.
So if he did not agree with Dana White ways, why would he partner with him?
No. That's why I'm saying this is look. There are only two reasons, okay, why he's partnering with Dana White. One, Dana White and Nick Khan.
Yeah, that's
already have an existing relationship with Netflix. He wants to be at Netflix. And I told you guys that was the only salvation for boxing in the American market. Pay-per-view is deader than dead. And no one subscribes currently to DAZN. And we've all seen the kind of numbers.
You know,
we've all seen the kind of numbers that Netflix is capable of putting forward. So here's the problem. It's never good for the fighters. Why do you think we had this legislation in place to begin with? To protect the damn fighters. So what we're on the verge of getting is another UFC where we shortchange these athletes. Do you really think we're going to get the elite of the elite? Or are we just going to, hey, we better get used to seeing a bunch of club shows?
Yeah.
Because no one's going to want to compete for that.
Technically, people should be saying Turkey backdooring him, right? Setting him up because Turkey know what he's doing. How is he?
Dude, stop. Turkey painted himself into a corner, but he's not the bad guy here.
How is he not the bad guy?
Because he's been overpaying the fighters and giving us the best fights, brother. How can you not see that? You can't argue with that.
But you know the real reason they're doing that is because they want to turn Saudi Arabia into like they're trying to clean up the image over there, right?
Yeah, well, that would make sense, except for the fact that he's staging fights in the UK and the US. The last event he did, and he bought Ring Magazine, the last event Turki Al-Sheikh did was in Queens.
So, but he's doing that with his company, right?
That's his money, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Riyadh season, correct me if I'm wrong, but Terrence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov, that was a Riyadh season event in LA.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, well, so what's your point?
My point is, do you know about the 2030 vision they got?
2030. I don't know what you're talking about.
So that's like a whole plan to keep investing, buying stuff, and then to turn Saudi Arabia into one of these big countries where everything runs through Saudi Arabia.
Well, look, I don't care as long as we get the big fights. But here's the problem. Turki Al-Sheikh has already stated enough's enough. We're not going to spend that kind of money anymore because we're not making any money.
I mean, they haven't.
And once again, he's been learning on the job as far as, because once again, he came in with blinders on. He knew nothing about this business. And truth be known, Daniel Kinahan was originally the guy organizing all of these events with Frank Warren, Queensberry Promotions. No one knew that.
I'm telling you like this, bro. Turkey was never in this to help out no boxing, bro.
Oh my gosh! And this is based on what?
Based on the plans. I tell you to do this. So whenever you have a chance, look up the 2030 vision or the Vision 2030 of the plans that Saudi Arabia got. That whole thing is for them to be pushing everything through their country and to clean up the image of Saudi Arabia, right? Now, if you was
I don't care about any of that though. As long as they stage the fights, I don't care about politics.
So if he really cared, why would he want to get in a business partnership with Dana White, a person that is not
Okay,
trying to help
look.
boxing,
If he
he's
didn't
trying
genuinely
to
look,
remove
if
the Ali Act, right?
listen, if Turkey Al Sheikh genuinely didn't care about the sport and the health of boxing, he would have never purchased the Ring magazine. He would not be spending his own dime to stage these events, and he wouldn't have invested in his own.
The money is not coming from Turkey. It's literally from the.
Oh, dude, come on. Turkey Al Sheikh, this is his own money for the ring.
You know, all this stuff that we're talking about now is literally documented on the internet, right? It's a fact.
Oh, yeah, and I believe everything I read on the internet, and so should you.
Yeah.
Come on, dude, use your brain, man.
So the thing that I'm saying with the investment funds, that's literally just like with the TKO group. Dana White not spending $1. All the money is coming from the Saudi
Their Riyadh season events. Yes.
Fund.
Just like this fight in Vegas, not Saudi Arabia, is a Riyadh season event funded by the government of Saudi Arabia, by the prince, the royal family. Right? Yeah. Okay, so once again, how is that helping Saudi Arabia?
You talking about
no, dude, look, let me just clear this up. Now, this isn't the point, and I don't know why we're getting off on this, because this is a moot point. Because we as fans should only care about the health of these fighters and the health of the sport. As long as we're getting the best fights, I don't care if it helps the modernization plan of Saudi Arabia. Who cares? And as long as he's staging fights in America, like Canelo versus Crawford, it's going to be in Vegas at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, home of the Raiders. That's helping the American market, and it's on Netflix.
So,
but here we just now, once again, that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about Dana White and Turkey Al Sheikh trying to repeal legislation that protects these fighters. That right there is a massive red flag. And I'll say this now. I can't see this being amended or repealed.
Well,
who on God's green earth in Congress is going to vote in favor of this? Giving the power back to the promoters. No one is going to vote this. And once again, I'm going to make my prediction right now, guys. Dana White is going to be one and done. This is the only event he's going to do, because he's not going to be able to rip off these fighters like he has for decades in the UFC.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the case, Joseph. Because
I can't see any senator or representative voting in favor of ripping off the athletes, not giving them transparency.
Well, the problem is that the sport, the current state of the sport, there's not really a lot of people that are. It is partly possible due to ignorance, that could be a problem. But yeah, I always thought that if it was going to be done, possible executive order, because I know he loves, him and Trump.
You cannot do that with executive order. This is a bill that's already been passed.
Yeah.
By Congress. You cannot repeal it just by the president. It has to be checked by the judicial branch, and it has to be passed by Congress. Once again, who comes up with these bills? Not Donald Trump, not Barack Obama, not Sleepy Joe Biden. No, dude, not George W. Bush. And who was it was George W. and Bill Clinton when this was being, and they had nothing to do with this. This is Congress, guys. This was Senator McCain who championed this bill. And he did it to protect the fighters.
So how long did it take for them to pass that? That act was passed like 2000.
No. It was passed originally in 2000, and they proposed this in 96. So you mean to tell me, and boxing was a big-time mainstream pastime back then. Now it's a fringe pastime. In my opinion, this gets thrown away in Congress, and they're saying, look, we're not going to waste taxpayer money on this for something that's going to not protect the fighters. And it's going to make Dana White look like the damn villain that he is.
So let me ask you this, Joseph. It took them that long to pass a bill like that?
Yes, and that's back when people gave a shit about boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No
what about
one
now, though,
cares
Joseph?
anymore. They're
Yeah.
not going to be able to amend or repeal this, and Dana White's gonna have a huge black eye as a result of it, and he's gonna get torn up to shreds in the media.
But it shouldn't just be Dana White because Turkey is involved in it.
Oh, stop it, man! Quit trying to bash Turkey al-Sheikh.
But
This is all Dana White's brainchild, brother. Look,
let me
look. Dana White, Turkey al-Sheikh had nothing to do with Dana White creating a business model that exploited his athletes, only giving them on average 18% of the gross proceeds.
Now,
Yeah.
you know that's a fact right now, Joseph. Would you go and get in a business partnership with Dana White knowing what you know? You telling me Turkey ain't know none of that?
Turkey is only, I told you, and I know the guys from Sella. Turkey al-Sheikh is only involved with Dana White to get that deal with Netflix because he knows he's never going to be able to get boxing to a level that he needs to.
So
On
technically,
a limited platform like DAZN that has less than 1 million subscribers in America.
he don't care about Dana White being a crook. He just cares about Netflix. So forget the fighters. Right?
That's it, and that's the only reason why
So how
he's
can
partnered with Dana White, because of his existing relationship with UFC and WWE, Netflix.
So
They're already in bed, and that's the reason why Canelo Crawford is happening on Netflix. That's the only reason why.
So by saying that, he never cared about boxing like I've been saying.
Oh, stop it, man. Look how much money he's lost, dude.
It's not his money, Joseph. Come on.
Oh my gosh, dude. The Ring magazine is his money. That's his personal holdings.
So
And he's lost millions. Dude, the Times Square event was his event.
Yeah,
he lost tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact, dude. So look, and he's like, well, you know what? I can't. I'm not going to go any further with this. The pay-per-view model is deader than dead. All we're doing by putting these things on pay-per-view is obscuring the best product from the fans. We need Netflix, or else this is not going to work.
Let me tell you this. Now, with the no pay-per-view stuff, he admitted himself that they're only testing it out, and he's not taking no loss. The zone is taking a loss. He literally admitted this in that interview where he was exposing all the fighters, right?
Well, look, in my opinion, what needs to happen, there needs to be a reset, but you cannot close the books on the fighters and their management. That's immoral and unethical.
You got
we don't have a players union, guys, like the other sports. Nothing to protect these fighters.
They're never gonna have it.
And then Dana has a track record. I mean, if you look at what he's done with the UFC, it's cut and dry. The guy cares about himself. He's making a lot of money off these guys' backs. He puts them on the grinder, doesn't give them health insurance, et cetera, et cetera. Could go on. And you're not even getting the fights. I don't know why a lot of people say that at least people are fighting with them with UFC. There's a lot of matchups that never happened ever in the UFC. Sometimes even because of Dana White himself. So,
look,
he has a terrible track record, man. Not a trustworthy guy.
Here, listen, guys. Dominic, DAZN is going to be like the minor leagues for boxing, and the big events he wants to put on Netflix, like 4 per year, right? Along with Riyadh season events.
He still owns 10% of the zone, right?
That's right. Yep.
So he owns Ring Magazine, 10% of the zone. Like everything that he's doing is for him to put Saudi Arabia as a big shark in the ocean, bro. That's literally what they're doing from the jump.
And
so how
as long as we give the fights, why do you care?
All right, so when that time comes and then he reveals his hand, we'll see. Because
reveals what hand?
Everybody knows that's what they're doing. They pretty much have announced it.
And then why does he give two
Informally.
shits about the American market then? See,
Yeah.
that's the only thing you're saying that doesn't make any sense.
What's the
Why
hottest
would he
market?
here, listen?
Why
Why would he stage these fights in the American market then? Why would he stage some of his events at Wembley Stadium then?
to get the eyes on the hottest market? What you mean? So people could know him. Like he's literally what like every business people do. Come overpay people, do this and do that, and then boom. When it's time for them to recoup, is no, they no longer invest.
That makes zero sense. Why would he try to build the American market? Look, he understands. And once again, boxing is much healthier when it's thriving in the American market. Look at the 90s. Look at the 80s. Look at the 70s. Boxing was a mainstream pastime. Let me tell you when it started to become a fringe pastime. When the promoters got greedy and started putting every major event on pay-per-view, and then also taking the biggest fights away from mainstream America and tucking them away in sterile casinos, going for the automatic site fee. So their job was done. If they got the big licensing fee from the network or pay-per-view, and then they sold the site fee to the casinos, they washed their hands of it. Their job was done. But you're taking the product. That's like the Dallas Cowboys taking the product out of Dallas and putting it in a casino. Does that make sense for the health of the sport? No. But that's what promoters did in the 90s. They got lazy. They got lazy and complacent, and they didn't give two shits about the future health of the sport.
So
That's what started the ball rolling in the wrong direction.
So let me ask you this, Joseph. So in you guys' eyes, Turkey get a pass for making big fights?
Hell yes.
Okay. So y'all don't care about the fact that he's doing crook stuff, but he's getting in business partnership with crooks, right? And then we're not blaming him and everybody involved.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, boxing is new. Well, we know nothing about allowing crooks in this business. Daniel Kinahan, MTK, Don King, Bob Arum, the mob controlling. Come on, dude.
This is boxing.
Listen, brother. This sport was built on harboring crooks, including many of the fighters. In fact, Muhammad Qawi, Dwight Qawi, right, who just passed away. Yeah. Bernard Hopkins, they didn't start boxing until they went to the Hoosgow. Guys, this sport was built on crooks. I don't know how else to spell that, man. I don't care. Because most people in Wall Street are fucking crooks and should be behind bars. So what are we talking about? Most people in Congress are crooks, and they've been stealing your money for decades. And you want to cry about boxing and Turkey al-Sheikh?
But look, it's not about that. It's just about you guys, including you, Joseph, giving him a pass, but others don't. Why is that?
Well, I'm sorry. Who are other people? You're talking about other people who don't know shit about this business? Is that what you're talking about?
People like you.
I'm being honest now. Most people and most critics that you hear from don't know diddly about this business. Okay, I'm one of the few platforms on YouTube who are actually in this business and know all about it.
And you're knowledgeable, and you still giving him a pass, Joseph. Like, come on, we got to keep it 100, bro. You got to keep it 100.
Yeah.
What he's probably trying to say though is that
best since his involvement in boxing.
Exactly, that's the difference though. If you look at the past actors, even the dog stain that is PBC, comparatively, this guy's been giving us the fights, and that's ultimately what we want. You have to keep the consumers happy, and as he mentioned, he just gave you a list of people that are criminal actors. The problem is there's too many selfishness. It's always been the problem with the sport. There's too many guys looking out for each other.
Here's the problem. And look, everyone is at fault. Now, once again, you talk
Okay.
about people complaining, oh, about the crooks and oh, the Saudi dude. Most of the people that you talk to who are complaining steal this shit anyway and see it for
Right.
free streaming on the internet. So what
Right.
are we talking about here? That's why pay-per-view numbers are at an all-time low. That's why that we have only 600,000 subscribers on DAZN in the American market, because
Yeah.
the guys who supposedly love this sport are stealing every
But
single
Joseph,
fight.
But Joseph, to be fair though, DAZN did shoot himself in the foot when they started. I remember one point in time, right? DAZN was about $5, $9, $10. Then now it's like they started adding these hidden fees and they started raising the prices. I get the whole economical aspect of it, but they also shot himself in the foot. But like you said, I think the appropriate comment or the conclusion is that there's a lot of blame to go around. But they for sure didn't do that because I wasn't aware
Look,
about
first
the
of all,
DAZN price gauging until an individual told me about it
yeah,
that he,
yeah,
he
because they
paid
were
about 100 cents
expecting.
more.
Look, because they were expecting when they
Canelo,
spent a ton of money on Canelo, Golovkin, all of the guys.
right,
When HBO
right,
lost, they thought that they were going to pick up where they left off
right.
and they were going to be fine. But no one wanted to subscribe to DAZN. Okay, now,
No,
guys, I want to take this opportunity to introduce Maestro, elite level guitar player, my brother, Peter Von Arx. Peter, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Joe. Thanks. Thanks for the great introduction. I'd like to say
what's
hi
up,
to the
Peter?
panel. Hey,
Hi.
I have a question here, and I could be totally off base, but I was looking at the Ali law, and what Turkey's doing, in my opinion, is trying to take a lot of stuff offshore. Now, I don't even know if that. I know it's a congressional resolution. 106 to Congress, 1999 to 2000. They passed it. I think that the fighters, even if they're overseas fighters, are subject, bound by, and compelled to perform under the same laws that we have here in the United States. But if they go over to Saudi Arabia and fight, or if they fight in London, England, whole
Yeah.
different deal,
Yep.
because we don't have any jurisdiction there.
Yep.
Like
Mhm.
I said, this is only for the American market. And once again, Turkey is at a loss. Like, he doesn't know what to do in the American market. He doesn't know what to do about it. We have over 360 million inhabitants, and boxing is a fringe commodity. Now, here's the problem, guys. And no one is willing to concede or admit wrongdoing or change their stupid ways. Now,
Yeah.
once again, the promoters, they shot themselves in the foot by trying to get the most talent by overpaying the fighters. Al Heyman didn't know, Eddie Hearn didn't know, and Turkey Al Sheikh didn't know. They were ignorant to a basic rule in promotions. You do not pay out inflated purses, because then it costs a small fortune to stage the best fights.
So
Now, here's the problem. Now that the fighters have grown accustomed to receiving these inflated purses, do you really think they want to go backwards? No,
No.
and they're not willing to concede, even though, now here's where the fans come in. Fans, you think they're going to, now that they know how to stream these fights illegally in HD, do you really think they're going to stop doing that?
in 4K.
Okay, so no one wants to concede. Fighters don't want to stop getting paid exorbitant amounts of money. Fans don't want to pay for shit anymore. And promoters, they don't know how to deal with this.
But also,
Listen, all the while, networks like ESPN are saying bye-bye to boxing because fans are no longer subscribing. They're streaming all of this shit. The ones who complain ad nauseum, oh, we don't see the best fight the best. Well, you know what? That maybe if you paid a dime for your boxing entertainment, your supposed favorite sport, maybe you would see it for a reasonable allotment of money. So the reason why DAZN subscribers have to pay $30 a month is because they're paying for everyone else who's streaming it. The reason why Canelo events cost $90 is because anyone who purchases it legally, they're genuinely paying for all the assholes who steal it illegally. And no one is willing to budge an inch. That's why a lot of promoters and a lot of people in this business are on the fence with this Dana White issue. Does that make sense to you guys now? Now, once again, don't bring up Saudi because this is all American legislation that only affects the American market.
Well, just, yeah, but let me ask you, what is he doing? Lobbying Congress now? Is he a lobby? He's
trying to
waltzing.
repeal and amend the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act. Hold on.
Well, you better have a ton of money behind him.
Dominic, you owe me a super chat, brother, because I'm going to answer this. Manny Pacquiao, Mario Barrios on PBC, Amazon Prime. That's the last event I paid for. And why? Because a lot of my friends were part of that event. And you knew a lot of people that were in Vegas that weekend, a lot of people that were involved with that event, including Mario, including my brother Jacob DeLeon, including Bob Santos. A lot of people, including Brandon Figueroa, O'Mira.
So now,
hold on. Come on now. So once again, it's a tax write-off for me because I'm in this business. Don't hate the player, hate the game, Holmes.
So now let me say this. So the thing is, for me, Turkey is a crook, and you guys are giving them passes.
Oh, stop it, man.
Plain and simple.
Look, dude, you've been giving everyone in this business who are crooks a pass.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, stop, dude. Stop it. Just stop it, man. This is ridiculous.
Not with me. No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. How old are you, Neverfold?
I'm in my 20s.
Okay. Do you pay for these pay-per-view events? Do you subscribe to everything?
Yes, I don't watch every fight. The fights that I want to see, I go to them and I pay for them. Yes, I do.
Okay, very good. Then you have room to complain. Then you have room to complain because most of these fans, and I'm talking and I see the numbers, the overwhelming majority of fight fans, the ones who supposedly claim that boxing is their favorite sport, steal everything. That's why pay-per-view numbers are abysmal and it's deader than dead, that revenue stream. Yeah. This is why Turkey Al Sheikh is convinced, and we told you last year on this platform that the only salvation for boxing in the American market was Netflix.
No, they're taking it off the American market.
Once again, I don't care if Turkey Al Sheikh in Saudi Arabia is a criminal. Who cares? That's none of my business. I don't live in Saudi Arabia. And last time I checked, I never will.
No camel races for you, huh?
Nope. Sorry.
So let me say this. Right,
I'm sorry, but I like my women burqa free.
So let me say this too, right? Joseph. Now with the stealing of pay-per-views, that's like going on in the world. No people.
I'm sorry. What?
Right. With the stealing of fights, pay-per-views, like it's going on all over the world. That's something that they're doing.
Okay.
Not in Mexico or in Japan. But they have a different thing.
And in the UK,
what?
It's still UK is the healthiest market in boxing. It's still a mainstream sport.
They support. That's a fact.
Dude, and so what are we talking about here? It's rampant.
People in
listen, Neverfold. The reason why ESPN just axed, and we're going to get into this, we're going to change the topic. We've been on this for 50 minutes. The reason why ESPN just gave the axe, according to their numbers, who tuned into this event on regular ESPN was only 350,000. You can't tell me out of 360 million inhabitants in the U.S., we only have 350,000 diehard fight fans? No. That's ridiculous, guys. That's absurd. Come on. So once again, I don't want to talk about, it's a criminal Turkey. I don't care what he does in Saudi Arabia.
So
is he paying for the best fights?
Listen,
yes.
right?
Have we been seeing the best fight since his involvement in this crooked ass business anyway? Yes.
Is boxing a top 10 sport?
Hell no.
Okay,
Dude,
so we can't really be complaining about the
listen,
views, you know?
listen, women's NCAA softball kicks its ass in ratings right now on ESPN. That's why they're still showing NCAA softball, and they're not showing boxing anymore.
The number one thing that these people in boxing need to be worried about is trying to get boxing in the top 10 conversation. You can't be worrying about numbers.
They're shifting it. They're shifting it out of the United States. I mean, let's face the facts.
Guys,
the big fights are leaving the States. Face it. They're leaving the States, and that's the problem.
Well, the American market,
right there.
right? Well, just look at the average American fighter. Look at what they do. Look at the particular product that comes out of the I win by points fighting. It's just terrible for the sport. You don't have enough guys out there that are willing to perform. That's also a part of the problem too. The people that are willing to perform, they're not promoted, not pushed. But the guys that are winning by points, I mean, let's just be honest. Whether people like it or not, we know which sort of fighter brings entertainment value. That's what we want. We want high entertainment value. Too many people around different fan bases, especially what's currently been going on with a lot of the matchups, they feel robbed. They feel cheated. They feel the anticlimactic most of the time once they get these fights. So that's also, difficult too. I get why people are moving away from America. I mean, why wouldn't you? I wouldn't. I don't want to watch these type of fights. Why would I pay for them? So.
Well, look, guys. Once again, man, it doesn't help the market in America, and Turkey Al-Sheikh knows this, to stage a pay-per-view during the day. Who the hell wants to stage a fight party during the day? During the afternoon when it's taking place in Saudi Arabia and it's on at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. Who wants that? Nobody. Now, guys, if he didn't care about the market in America, he wouldn't be staging this event on Netflix. Crawford Canelo, by far going to be the biggest fight of the year.
But Joseph, why wouldn't he care about the biggest market? Literally.
That's my point. That's been my point the entire time. And you're saying, all he cares about is the modernization of Saudi Arabia. No, he doesn't. He understands that if boxing is thriving in America, then he's making money.
Well, he owns everything that he needs to own, so he's gonna make money off this shit.
And so far, he's lost well over $100 million in less than 2 years.
That's a fact.
Easy.
Okay. Now, once again, most of it's Saudi money, but tens of millions just this year have been out of his own holdings, his own shares, his own pocket.
Now, Joseph, you mentioned that we needed to change up the topic, so go ahead.
Top Rank, guys. What did you think of their last event, and where do you think they end up? We're going to start counterclockwise this time. We're going to go to Peter Von Arch first, and I'll tell you after we get everyone's opinion what I've heard, and it's not looking good, guys.
Well, I like boxing, so I thought it was okay.
And where do you think they go from here?
Oh, they're going to go. Let's face the facts. The world changed. Power is shifting, and money is shifting.
Hold on, Peter. It's my pleasure to introduce at this time my brother Eudes. Welcome to the show, sir.
Salute, guys. Thank you for having me here.
Oh yeah, Gomez. That's hilarious.
All the great fighters. They're all going to have to travel, man. They're all going to have to travel because things are changing.
He's the Puerto Rican Devin Haney. Can't crack an egg, and every time you get on the inside, he ties your ass up. I love it. So Peter, as you were, man, keep going.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to have to check into the hotel reality here. I mean, as far as the world's changing. Power shifting hands. A lot of these fighters that are fighting in the States, The reason we're getting a bad deal in the market over here is because power is shifting and they're holding fights. And like you said, Great Britain throws on a lot of fights, but they're going to be moving to Saudi Arabia. They're going to be moving over east into Eastern Asia. The Japanese, they have a couple of big fights. They always get. It's just everything's moving. It's moving, and as far as the Top Rank card, I liked it. I like that Vargas guy, man. I think he's really good. And I thought Xander Zayas, he had a tough fight there with that tall Mexican fella. That could have went either way. That one, it was a good card. I thought Top Rank had a good. I just like boxing, so
Yeah, well, I tell you what, that's a great answer. That's a great response. Hugo, your thoughts on the new WBO junior middleweight champion and Top Rank? Where do they go now that ESPN has given him the old heave-ho?
Yeah. Well, Zayas, I'm not impressed with the guy. I'm not really. I don't understand the hype or the buzz that there's around him. I think there are other Puerto Rican fighters that are good. In terms of that fan base, they have the reasons to want to watch him. But I mean, it was okay. The card was good, so there's that for what that's worth. But Top Rank, I think they're kind of at the dead end. I think they're gonna go away from the sport. I don't blame them. I don't know where they could possibly want to. I don't know, obviously, the dealings, what's going on behind the scenes, but
this is a real problem, guys.
Yeah.
This is a real problem because, once again, Stephen Colbert, he just got the axe because he just lost CBS $40 million last year.
Damn.
Okay, so once again, it shows you no one is watching TV. So where does Top Rank go?
I think they're done, but yeah, that's it.
Neverfold, your turn, my friend. How did you like the event, and what's next for Top Rank? Are they curtains for the grand old promoter in the U.S.?
I don't think Top Rank is cooked, man. From what I heard, even last year, they kept saying that it was going to be dealing with different networks. I don't think they're done. They'll find a way. Now, as far as the last event, I didn't care for it. Matter of fact, I paid to go. I ain't even go. I was just doing other things. You feel me? So with the Xander stuff, they just hyping him up. I don't know. That guy is food. I could pick so many other people that beat him before. Who has he beaten for them to be hyping him up? This dude, they gave him a cherry pick. You feel me? So it's
that cherry pick just whipped the ass of Charles Conwell last month.
Yeah, but Conwell, he looked like he was sick though. And really, he did not beat him. He outworked him. So with Zayas, he needs to go ahead and fight the Fonduras, the Ortiz, the Boots.
How do you think he fares against the upper echelon of 54? And look, this is a problem. And I say this all the time to fighters, be careful what you ask for, because once you get that gold around your waist, you have to defend it. You have to defend it. Honestly, I think his best bet is to try and put together a fight on Amazon Prime with Keith One-Time Thurman.
So, so Zayas is cool, and stop hyping him up, bro. Y'all be hyping everybody nowadays. The minute that they lose, y'all wave on another bandwagon, bro. Stop with this Zayas stuff, bro. He's just an okay fighter. That's it.
So where does Top Rank go?
They go anywhere. Whoever's trying to do business with them, they can go.
If you had to guess, where do they go? Not enough dates on DAZN and not enough money.
I can't think of any platforms.
That's a tough one, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, while you're thinking about that, we're going to ask my brother Euthus for his professional insight. Euthus!
All right.
Card, what do you think of Xander Zayas at 54, and where does Top Rank go from here?
All right. Well, I enjoyed the card. A few fights. I enjoyed this Bruce Carrington. I don't have much faith on Carrington, but I like that he has the huevos to call other champions, unlike other American fighters. So everybody says, yeah, everybody's saying that he has fought nobody, but at least after every fight, he's calling the champions, man. And the other fighters, the other American fighters, you don't see them doing that. Instead, you see them asking for tune-ups to Turkey and shit like that. So good for Carrington.
I tell you what.
About
I tell you what.
Mhm.
Xander Zayas. Yeah, you said he doesn't have the huevos. Tell you what, they turn to Migas if he fights anyone at the elite level at 54.
Well, yeah, about Sayas, I like what I saw about Sayas from Sayas, and I don't know. I know he didn't look elite, but I think he can give trouble to some guys. I think
But
he, with a couple of fights, a couple more fights, he can beat
you guys,
Fundora. And I definitely am absolutely positive that this guy can beat Ennis.
you think? Can I make a quick comment? You think
Yeah,
with the chin he has and the lack of power, you think the guy you just mentioned Boots? You think he beats Boots?
yeah,
Hell no.
Wow.
yeah. Look, he's
I
got
disagree, brother.
everything that gives
I'll hear
trouble
you out.
to
I
Ennis.
disagree.
Remember
Uh,
Karen? Karen wasn't an elite fighter, and look at
Who?
the Karen Chukatsion, the guy from Ukraine.
yeah, but
Chikadze?
Yo, you guys do know if Karen gets a shot at a belt at 47, he can win a belt, right? That guy is not trash.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the style. That
Yeah.
style gives trouble to Ennis, and what we saw with this Sanders Sayas, definitely he's gonna give trouble to Ennis. I think he can beat him.
no, I
I'm not
disagree.
gonna lie. Go ahead and bet money on that, okay?
I will. I
Guys,
will.
guys, I'm gonna let you know what my opinion is. We're gonna take a short break for 1 minute because this show is always brought to you not only by my brothers at Affordable Dentures, which now make mouthpieces, guys, to all fighters in their denture clinics and denture facilities. So, guys, go visit your local Affordable Dentures. And also, this show is always brought to you by our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. There's only one route to eternal salvation, and that's through the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.
This is why you need
Amen.
faith to shield you from temptation. In 1 Corinthians 10:13, we're reminded, no temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. We don't have to wrestle with sin on our own. Our strength may falter, but God's power is endless. Trust in Him, lean on His wisdom, and have faith that our Heavenly Father will deliver us from every evil and temptation. Remember, with God by your side, you are never alone in your battle. Turn to Him and find the strength to overcome.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I tell you what, guys, once again, if you haven't already surrendered your life to Jesus Christ, now is the time. We are entering a season of revival and abundant blessing in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you, Jesus. I will say this, guys. And guys, thank you for everyone pushing my new channel, God's Perfect Love, over 4,000 subscribers today. Thank you, guys. And if you haven't already subscribed,
Drop the link in the
just go
chat.
visit God's Perfect Love.
Drop the link in the chat, Joseph.
I sure will, my friend. Thank you for saying that, brother. God bless you, man.
You know who I think got better was Fundora. Fundora looked good against Tim Zhu.
Yeah, but
Of
you know what?
course.
Tim Zhu is shot.
Yeah, but he was. I'll tell you,
Of
man,
course.
Fundora, I hadn't seen him like that before. You know, I've seen him
course,
fighting close in his earlier days, but he was revving it up this time.
And I said it in previous shows. He was gonna look like Tommy Hearns with that chat version of Tinshu.
Oh, chinga.
I'm telling you about Sanders Sayas. He had the huevos to call out Fundora. And what did Fundora do? He was hiding behind his sister, right? He didn't want to make the face off. They know
Oh my
they
God,
lose that fight.
that is so ridiculous. Why would you want to fight Xander Zayas for no money when you could fight
Yeah.
Tim Tszyu for millions of dollars?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. This is a business. This is not a charity.
Yeah, I know.
Joseph,
So once again, why are you criticizing Sebastian Fundora for doing
No.
exactly what you would have done in his situation? You're fighting
no.
food, a shot fighter for millions of dollars, and then a young undefeated fighter like Xander Zayas, a guy who's going to try and wrap you up like an octopus for little to no money. That makes no sense.
now Joseph, let me ask you this, right? So we know, like when Devin Haney fought, was it against Loma? So one of these Devin Haney fights, right? They kept talking about how he was holding. They kept count how many times he was clinching and holding, right? Now with Zayas, we seen him moving around the ring a lot and holding, and we're not seeing the masses talking about that. I've heard you mention it, but why is the boxing fans not giving Zayas the same criticism they were giving?
Because dude, no one watched the fight, and that's why Top Rank is no longer on ESPN. No one watched the fight except for the diehard fight fans, and most of them stole this shit. Most of them just watched it streaming. Then no one watches TV anymore, brother. No one.
Right.
Now, does anybody
Oh,
else?
okay, hold on, never fold. I just dropped the link for my channel. New one. It's God's Perfect Love, youtube.com/@Holy Trinity -JC1 for Jesus Christ 1. But guys, look, that's the only reason why there's no backlash. I can promise you this. If he tried to fight Virgil Ortiz and wrapped him up as much, you'd hear a public outcry like he was Donald Trump's child.
Now, how come nobody else is saying nothing about it on the panel right now?
I was gonna bring up the clinching, but I think what stood out to me was just completely with the kid, just the overall hype, and then add to that the obvious deficiencies are lack of chin and his power. Those are far worse for Rodriguez.
Yep.
Because in any matchup, I see the guy just getting clipped and reverting to the clinch, and I mean, and then what? And then getting clipped again, and then being dropped. I don't see him doing good, but we'll see.
Guys, you could easily call him the Devin Haney of Puerto Rico.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
No, that's real. Look, without power and without a chin. Without power and without a chin.
What has
he is food at 54 guys
compared to Devin Haney? He's not even that aggressive, you know.
I'm sorry, you actually think that Devin Haney's aggressive?
Yeah, like for like this type of style, he's more aggressive.
Since when?
He's more. Can we agree that Devin Haney is more aggressive than Shakur, right?
No,
he's not.
They're both, no, dude. In fact, how many clinches did you see in his fight against a real machine like William Zepeda? Hardly any. I promise you this: if that were Devin Haney, he would have been holding on for dear life, and he would have been wishing Kenny Bayless was the ref.
That's right, man. Shakur didn't clinch it. There was hardly any clinching in that Zepeda fight.
Bro, Zepeda has nothing but volume. That's it. That's why Shakur.
Oh, okay. And I'm sorry, Garcia last night or on Saturday night did.
You said
Come
what?
on now.
You mean Chino Garcia? He didn't even have power with Conwell. He's not
Garcia wasn't clinching. Garcia wasn't clinching.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm comparing William Zepeda with Mamon Garcia, who we saw last night or Saturday night.
Oh,
Hey guys, I've got something to share. Who just dropped off? Was that Oogle? Okay, Oogle, I hope you come back, brother. So guys, I'm gonna put on a hold on. Let me put on a special photo for all of you guys. This is pretty fun. It's pretty funny. I'm gonna upload this photo and get your thoughts because this is what I think of Devin Haney. And I'm sorry, Neverfold. You might find this offensive, man, but this is all in jest. I have a ton of respect for every fighter. Everyone who knows me understands that. And this is all in just good fun. But I want to get your thoughts on this photo. Right?
A clinching photo.
Hold on, guys. I want to get your thoughts on this photo. This is the Devin Haney fan starter kit, right? And I'm gonna remove you guys one at a time so you can see this photo. Pretty funny.
I've seen it already.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Hold on. I want everyone else to see it. What's up with the pride flag, though, dude?
I think you were missing the baby oil, bottle.
And then it comes with a notice of lawsuit.
Yeah. Oh God,
that's hilarious. Whoever came, I tell you what, these fans have way too much time on their hands, guys.
Nah,
that's way too much time on their hands.
That's a known hater that be making.
But it's funny right there, man. Look, and you know, all of this stems from one, he clinches too much. Two, he demands too much damn money and far exceeds his market value. And three, it's that damn picture that's going to follow him around for years of him with P. Diddy. Yeah, I said it.
See, my problem is, my thing is with people, like, they pick and choose. Gervonta Davis got picked up by Diddy. He's in photos with Diddy. I don't see people pushing that picture around. So, but all the fighters that's been linked to Diddy don't only be pushing the Devin. What about the other ones that's been linked to Diddy?
Well, I tell you what. Right now, I would actually make fun of Gervonta Davis and throw his reputation in the dirt, but I think he's doing a pretty good job of that himself at this time. Like, honestly, dude, he is in serious trouble. Guys, if anyone's interested, I'm leaving that right up there. You see that? There it is.
Yeah.
Pride flag, lawsuit, all of it. Look,
to talk about the lawsuit stuff, like, other fighters then sued people for different things in boxing, like,
but not, dude, that's always contractual. No one sues for assault in the ring. That's just downright gay, guys.
Okay, so
that's weird. That is weird, man.
Would you guys rather him sue or do something like, far as like putting money on somebody? Right?
They sign a contract that they're going to get jabbed. I mean, there's a contract.
Look, Eric Gomez has the beat, guys. Tank fight canceled. Not much more you can say, but he's ruining his own career. Well, I will say this, and I stated this that night when I visited you, and you were a gracious host. Thank you for that on H Money's channel. He's already checked out, guys, and that's when I got that pushback from what's his name?
Big Chop.
Yeah, that's when I got that pushback. But I'm not wrong, guys. I already know this to be true. He's already.
I'm sure Tank is happy. I'm sure Tank is happy.
And guys, I will say this: don't be shocked. Don't be shocked if he gets off and doesn't go back to the Hoosgow. Don't be shocked if he fights Manny Pacquiao next at 147.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's checked out, guys. He is going the Canelo route. He's doing his victory lap. He wants nothing more to do with this business. He wants to make a couple million more and then ride off into the sunset because he cannot stand this business or everything around it. He's done, guys. He's done, and I know this to be a fact.
So, Joseph, I don't think you answered my question.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it, brother. Go ahead.
So my question was, would you rather Devin Haney either sued or took it on some street stuff?
Street stuff, dude.
Yeah,
Haney would
it's a
never
lawsuit.
take anything on any street stuff. And once again,
Possibility,
what
right?
you know,
Anybody,
listen. What ended up happening with that lawsuit?
he ended up dropping it to get
No, he didn't drop it. It was thrown out of court.
When was that reported?
The judge actually who saw it said, "Look, you're in boxing. You cannot sue for assault if you signed a contract and you're boxing."
Is that a fact?
That is a
Yeah.
fact. Look it up.
It's a fact.
So it got thrown out before the May fight.
May?
Yeah, they fought in May, Times Square.
Oh, yeah. It got thrown out a long time before that, brother. Like, this is old news. The judge basically laughed at it and said, "Look, this is frivolous. Quit wasting taxpayer money with frivolous lawsuits like this." Look it up, brother. It was reported by everybody. And that's why they don't bring it up any longer.
See, me personally, I supported the lawsuit because of it's either two things. Either it's a business. People been suing in business for
No. I know, but that's civil. He
Yeah.
tried to sue for assault and battery in the ring.
now.
You cannot do that.
I'd say
That's the reason why he's getting so much. He's getting chastised by everyone in the business, De La Hoya included, Eddie Hearn included. Everyone is drilling Devin and Bill Haney. It backfired, guys.
I'm not a part of that.
No. I know you're not. But I'm saying pretty much everyone in this business has been drilling Devin Haney as a result. You do not sue for assault and battery.
Now, let me ask you this: did he sign a contract to have a clean and fair fight?
Look, unless you come in, unless you have a case like Luis Resto and Panama Lewis, then you've got a case. But you do not sue. You didn't even see Miguel Cotto sue for assault and battery, and he had a much stronger case.
That's Cotto.
Yeah.
Did he got cheated? Yes or no?
Most people have not looked at the evidence. I would say before you actually judge on that, right? And he has a much stronger case than Devin Haney. Before you actually make your judgment, though, and pass judgment on Miguel Cotto and Antonio Margarito and his team, look at all the evidence which was reported on G Funky Boxing's channel, guys. And if G Funky, if you're listening, please post that link to your show. It was very informative and very eye-opening, and a lot of people have no idea what went on in that hearing, and it was reported on G Funky Boxing channel. He had who was the gentleman who used to write for Max Boxing? He was a longtime journalist, well respected. He did a lot of reporting on PEDs. Also, he's a guy who championed clean boxing, clean sports. Very good for the sport. But he is now an actor in California, and he just dumped the boxing business because, once again, there's no money in it anymore in the American market.
Was he a YouTuber?
No. I forgot his name. He used to write for Max Boxing. Very good journalist.
Oh, so he was just a writer.
Yeah, he genuinely cared about clean boxing. So he covered predominantly clean, like PEDs. And this is the reason why I stopped covering it when I was a journalist, because no one cares and everyone's doing it.
Does he have his own platform so that way I could look up his stuff and
not anymore, but just look up. Here, man, I'm gonna text G Funky right now, guys. But look, my opinion on the top ranked stuff. Let's get off of Devin Haney right now. Okay, I don't want to talk about that anymore. We'll bring up Bill Haney, Devin Haney, and Brian Norman Jr. that matchup in just a bit. But right now, guys, top rank, they're in real trouble. And in my opinion, they're done. They're done. You cannot, once again, when is the last time they've been able to cultivate and stage a big event? When is the last
but I
time
don't think they're completely done.
they are?
I think I haven't shared my opinion yet about top rank.
Yeah,
I
go ahead,
think
do this. Go ahead, man.
they're not like completely done, but they're gonna become like a minor player right now, like what's happening to PVC as well. They might become something like Provox. They might join forces and battle each other's fighters.
I
And
will say this, guys. I will say this, do this. I think you're absolutely right, but it's only a matter of time before they're completely done. Expect massive layoffs, guys. They're going to become less than PBC. In fact, I think their best move at this time would be to start working with PBC and ProBox and to merge.
And Queensberry.
I don't know.
They'll,
Queensberry is huge in the UK. They are the biggest swinging
they'll
dick.
be.
The healthiest.
That's where it's gonna. I'm
Okay.
telling you right now. That's where Aram's gonna go, man. He's gonna link up with Queensberry.
Why would
Guarantee
Frank
ya.
Warren want to carry dead weight in business?
Because Bob Arum carried Frank Warren for a long time.
In the UK, never.
Brought a bunch of British fighters over here.
That's only to make matchups in the US. But look, he might use top ranked fighters, but he's not going to carry dead weight. He's not going to carry Top Rank as a dead promotion. Guys, they're dead. And the reason why is, listen, the reason why is not because of Bob Arum. Because he is no longer steering the ship any longer. If he were, it would be much healthier and they would have never lost their ESPN contract. It's Todd DeBuff. He's run that entire organization into the ground, guys. You cannot run. Now, once again, Neverfold. Where is Top Rank? Where are they based out of?
Vegas.
Las Vegas, Nevada. So where does Todd DeBuff, the president of the company, running the show, where does he live? Colorado Springs. You cannot run a promotion in Vegas while living in Colorado Springs. Sorry. Bruce Trampler is semi-retired. Who's running the show there? Bob Arum is semi-retired, pretty much retired. He's the figurehead. That's all. Who's running the show? Brad Goodman? He can't do it all himself. Once
He's
again,
getting pretty old.
they are done. That's the real reason why Shakur Stevenson left, guys.
what if this
fighters to fall in line, leaving Top Rank?
what if this top the boss guy is a paid spy
He
for
is Bob Arum's stepson, or I'm not stepson, son-in-law. Bob Arum, Todd DeBuff married his daughter.
I would have had it handled. But if he's leaving it, Bob would have had it handled. But if he's leaving it to this guy out in Colorado Springs, no way.
That's what I'm saying. They're done, guys. I know this to be true. They'll be officially kaput and out of the business within a year's time.
He's what is he, like 92?
Yeah, he's not 93, I think.
God.
So
No,
Joseph,
he's 94, guys, now.
94?
Yep.
So Joseph, I guess I'm the only one on the panel that don't think that they're dead.
No. And once again, there are no right or wrong answers at this time. This is just all speculation, guys. So, Hey man, that's as valid of an opinion as anyone's. No one is saying that you're wrong. I hope you're right. I hope you're not wrong. Because Top Rank has meant a lot to the sport of boxing over the last 50 years.
Definitely.
And it would be a huge detriment to the sport of boxing and the health of the sport in the American market. Once again, guys, if you see ESPN drop another major boxing promoter, that's not good for the health of the sport in the American market. So we're going full circle now. This is why it's so important that Canelo and Crawford score a big critical and commercial hit for Netflix, our last salvo in the American market. Because if this lays an egg and looks like watching paint dry with Terrence Crawford running around, not wanting to engage, and it's boring as all get out, yeah, we're going to be a laughing stock in the American market.
Hey,
Already,
remember back
listen,
remember back when Terrence Crawford brought that lawsuit against Bob Arum and Tom Frank, and that was back in the day. And Bob said, "We gave you ESPN. You had plenty of time to go up there and talk. You had plenty of time to sell yourself, and you didn't do it." You know, and he was right. You know, it was like Terrence Crawford could have went on to ESPN many times, man.
Oh, look, brother. Terrence Crawford. Oh man, when it comes to business, oh my gosh, dude, he is a pain in the ass to work with. This is why no one wants to work with him except for Turkey Al-Sheikh. No one wants to work with him. He said someone has some feedback. You this when I'm talking, press mute, please. Is it solved now, guys? Have we solved that problem?
Yeah, it's definitely you.
Sounds, yeah. Richard Schaefer is indeed working with Canelo Alvarez. Yes, sir. That is true. Look, guys. Think about this, how catastrophic this will be for boxing in the American market. If Canelo Crawford ends up looking like what Turkey Al-Sheikh characterizes as Tom and Jerry. Put it this way. If it looks like Canelo versus Jermell Charlo, boxing is in trouble in the American market. They are in trouble, guys. Boxing, we are in serious trouble in the American market. Hey, buy your club tickets, guys. Get ready to see fights at the club level.
Yeah.
Because no network is going to want to touch. Now, think about this. What was the last big-time event that we saw that galvanized the mainstream and casual sports fan? It was Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. How did that end? It was a disgrace. It was a laughing stock. We were a laughing stock within the sports community. Now we can't afford another one of those. Well, how did Manny Pacquiao look versus Mario Barrios? It was an embarrassment. Mario looked like shit. He looked terrible. Getting beaten up by a 46-year-old man. And it ends in a draw. So we can't afford another one of these guys. We can't afford it. Now, once again, everyone, and here's the problem. You know how much money the Saudis are spending for this event?
Yeah, but that money is nothing for them. That's like a cup of coffee.
That's not the point. It's driving up the price of the market, and we're not getting no one's getting a return on their investment.
How much are they putting into it?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, but
for the main event alone? For the main event alone. Oh boy. Well over $120 million just for the main event.
Jesus.
yeah, but look, Joe, the Saudis, they're not fighting for money. They're fighting for control in the sport. So they don't care losing money. They have done with the same with other sports like golf.
Okay, press pause. Okay, press pause, press mute. So I'm going to explain this one more time. So then tell me then, if they didn't give two shits about making money, why have all of these events been on pay-per-view? Go ahead. I want to hear your response.
Yeah, but you saw that Turkey was talking about no more pay-per-views, right?
Because no one's watching it, and they're still losing money.
I know, but it's not much money what they're losing. In their case, it's like a cup of coffee.
Again, I'm going to ask you again, and please answer this question. Why has every major event then been on pay-per-view if they don't care about making their money back? Go ahead.
Well, maybe it's because of the deal with the song.
Or maybe you're wrong.
Why?
Or else it wouldn't have been on pay-per-view. If he didn't care about making any money, why would he be charging DAZN or anyone else exorbitant amounts of money for the licensing fee to broadcast the event, putting DAZN in a position where they had no choice but to put it on pay-per-view? Why not just say, hey, don't worry about it. I've got this. Hey, we don't care about the money. Just make sure everyone sees it.
Yeah, you might be right. They might be losing money, but it's not much for them. I mean, these guys wake up to $3 billion every day.
But once again, that's not the point. Why do you think they wake up to that much money? Because they care about making money. Give me one person who doesn't give a shit about making money. No one who has money. No one who has money doesn't care about losing money. Like, oh, I don't care if I lose money. Yeah, then they wouldn't have money to begin with. Elon Musk, why do you think he left Doge? Because he was losing his ass in all of his other businesses.
Yeah, he's really rich too, man. That guy.
Yeah, and he cares about losing money.
Yeah.
He left Doge. His companies were taking a beating. Once again, never fold. Dude, you keep bringing this up. This has nothing to do with the American market.
I know. That's why I typed it in the chat.
Yeah, dude. It has nothing to do with the American market, brother.
What do you mean it has nothing to do with the American market?
Let's stay on point, guys. Let's stay on point. Boxing is in real trouble if this fight doesn't sizzle. One of the last things that Don Chargan told me about this business when Floyd Mayweather finally signed on the dotted line and agreed to fight Manny Pacquiao. And everyone was in an uproar and everyone was, man, this is it. This is the big one. And Don looked at me and said, well, with all the hoopla surrounding this event, we better hope this fight sizzles on the big stage, because if it doesn't, boxing is in real trouble. He was right. And he's right. He was right about everything. He was right about inflated purses. He was right about that. And I'm telling you the same thing, guys.
I don't think it's going to sell much.
Listen, if Canelo versus Crawford doesn't sizzle, boxing in the American market is in serious trouble once again. Because how are they selling this fight, guys? Now, once again, what are they using to sell this fight to the mainstream and casual public again? This is a real fight, guys. Unlike Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, which was a sideshow, this is actually a real fight. This is one of the greatest fights you could make in boxing. How's that going to look if it stinks out the joint and is like watching grass grow?
How is it real or a great fight, a welterweight fighting a super middleweight?
Exactly.
They
are putting boxing in a position to fail once again.
Exactly.
And
I don't even think they're promoting it right.
I can't stand it.
I think the marketing strategy sucks. You know, they should be hitting the airwaves with that right now, not a month before. It's not like they're promoting a record album. You know, I mean, they should be throwing some money into a marketing strategy that's hitting the American public constantly over this fight.
Fuego. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for chiming in. He says, Canelo's got to save boxing with his Netflix fight. People I work with that didn't even follow boxing are going to be watching. That's right. That's what everyone said about Pacquiao Mayweather. What happened?
Tell him, Joseph. Come on now.
Guys, I'm telling you, and it sucks with Dana White fighting protective legislation for these fighters, and then Canelo Crawford potentially stinking out the joint. This could be a recipe for disaster for the American market boxing. This could be the final nail in the coffin, guys. But hey, it's not going to affect me because I predominantly work in the club level. We're going to be fine. But on the mainstream platform, do you really think Netflix is going to give two shits about boxing if this one is an embarrassment just like Tyson Paul?
Now, Joseph, let me ask you this. How come, like, the people that's, in the shot callers in boxing, like, why is their number one priority is not turning boxing into a top 10 sport?
Because we are cursed, and I'm going to say this with great evidence. Every time the public gets up for a big time fight on the mainstream level, it never delivers. When is the last time we've seen Gatti Ward at this level? When is the last time we've seen Trinidad versus Vargas on this level? When is the last time we've seen Marquez versus Vasquez at this level? When is the last
Hegler
time
versus
you've seen
Leonard.
Morales versus Castillo at this level?
Hegler versus Hearn.
Yeah.
We're never
yeah,
gonna see those
like,
fights
how long
again.
ago? How long ago was that?
Those days are gone, man.
40 years ago, brother. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why because think about this. How often do you see the NFL playoffs and it's, oh my gosh, that was such an amazing game and everyone's talking about it the next day?
Yeah.
And then look at the World Series. Dude, the last several World Series years watching the World Series, it's been amazing. Amazing product. Like right now, NBA is starting to tank because it's like, look, it's just not as good of a product as it used to be. And boxing, people feel even less about boxing. Like right now, we're about as popular as a Democrat right now.
Oh, Jesus.
And also,
Look,
hardcore
I'm not
fans.
joking either. I'm not joking. We're about as
Yeah.
popular. Like, once again, look what we got in MLB last year in the playoffs or in the World Series. Dodgers versus the Yankees, the two biggest markets. And it was great performances. The Dodgers kicked their ass. And it was riveting drama. It was beautiful. The NFL. I can't say that last year's Super Bowl was riveting because it was over by the end of the first half.
Yeah.
Oh, Jose Chavez. Good to see you, man. What were the Pac versus Varrios pay-per-view numbers? Look, I'm getting a mixed bag right now, and I'm not going to report until I actually have an honest number because I've got all of my friends from PBC that are saying, oh, it did almost 500,000. Bullshit. Bullshit. Look, if it did that well, then we'd be talking about a rematch. And no one's talking about a rematch because it didn't sell. So everyone's talking about potentially Manny Pacquiao versus Gervonta Davis. If he can stay out of the Hoosgow.
God.
Eric Gomez, it wasn't under 100,000, but it was like 120, from what I'm being told. Guys, if you want, we can get well, look, I'm going to be getting Justin Goosen Brown on the show. We're going to talk to him. I met him doing a commentary with the show earlier this year, and he's going to be on the show talking about the future of PBC as well as the numbers. So we're going to talk all about it, guys. But guys, it's not looking good for PBC. Who do they have? This is the reason why they pulled Manny out of retirement. Because who do they have? Benavidez is fighting for Turki Al-Sheikh now. Who do they have? Gervonta Davis can't stay out of trouble. Who do they have? Errol Spencer's retired. Adrian Broner can't fight anymore. Who do they have? Fundora couldn't sell out my living room on a Saturday night. Who do they have?
How about Sue? Team Sue?
Tim Tszyu, damaged goods. They
Well,
screwed a legitimate boxing franchise. Huge
but he
ticket
can be
story in
passed around
Australia.
to big
And
names.
rather than protecting this guy, they sold him out to a guy who couldn't sell out my living room on a Saturday night in Bakram Murtazaliev. Whooped his ass. Now he's damaged. Now he's damaged goods. He's ruined, guys. He's ruined forever. He's a shot fighter.
It's too bad, too, man. They moved him so badly.
Terribly. Like, why on earth did they push so hard to put him in America? You could have just fought him in Australia for years, and they would have been big-time events. Now, look. To be honest, Fuego, I give Tim Tszyu a ton of credit for lasting as long as he did, because if I were in his corner, I would have thrown in the towel 2 rounds prior.
Me too. Damn.
We need some Keith Thurman with a good. Like, honestly, guys, look for it. Keith Thurman versus Sebastian Fundora. Or
seriously?
Or Xander Zayas versus. Look, who can Sebastian Fundora beat at 154? Who can he beat? Realistically, guys, come on.
He ain't gonna fight any other champion.
He's gonna move to 160 before having a real fight.
I'll say this. I give Erickson Lubin a shit ton of credit.
Yep.
He's jumping into a guy who no one wants to face because he's largely considered too much risk for the reward. And that's Bakram Murtazaliev. And honestly, I can't wait to see it. And my hat's off. I tip my do-rag to Erickson Lubin.
Yep.
That guy's got some balls. Now,
yep.
That's a guy with real huevos, not Xander Zayas.
He's got power, too. Lubin's got power.
Lubin's got power, man. Don't count him out on any matchup at 54. Now, he doesn't have the greatest chin. We all know that, but he's always in great shape.
Yeah.
He's an excellent razor-sharp counterpuncher, and he can crack. So he's going to test your chin. He knocked down Sebastian Fundora. Like, honestly, I would love to see a rematch of that fight. That was a great fight. That was a fight of the year candidate.
Fundora and Lubin.
Fundora versus Lubin, yes. Now, look, is he going to beat Bakram Murtazaliev? Chances are probably not, but you never know because he does have a sizable speed advantage.
I got Lubin beaten. I got Lubin beating Bakram.
Dude, I hope you're right because then we'll see a big time fight on PBC, Amazon Prime, Fundora versus Lubin, the rematch. And this would be for unification. That's a great fight. I've been wanting to see that rematch. Joseph, what will you do about Turkey and Dana? Look, guys, in my opinion, this is going to be the death knell for Dana White in boxing. There's no one in the House or the Senate who's going to sign off.
There ain't nobody.
Legislation that's not protecting the fighters.
There ain't nobody in there. He doesn't have enough money to lobby those people.
Nope, sure doesn't. And once again, guys, his fighters, the ones that he's signing, they're all like club mid-level fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and also when this matchup stinks out the joint, Crawford Canelo, he's one and done. He's done in boxing, guys. Well, look, everyone is talking about Donald Trump, but no, he doesn't pass bills. That's Congress. That's Congress, guys.
Yeah, that bill passed in 1990, 2000.
Guys, understand the president never creates bills and passes them. He can veto, but no, it's not even going to get to that point because it's not going to get out of the Senate. Guys, no one is going to approve of legislation that takes away the protection of the fighters. That's it.
That's
But is there any
house
protection
resolution.
currently for fighters? Because last time I remember, I think it was, oh man, I forgot his name. This guy from Samsung, he was practically getting robbed from Samsung. Oh man, the guy that fought Stevenson.
You know, you got to hand it to Muhammad Ali for bringing that legislation to front. I mean, come on,
I don't
man.
know.
You know.
It was Senator McCain who championed that bill.
Yeah, but
And
you know,
guys,
it was
Well,
Ali that came.
here, listen. It wasn't Bill Clinton.
Nope, hell no, it wasn't.
Oh, hold on. I got this. Joe, you're not as sharp as I thought you was. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Guys, do you need a government lesson? Guys, once again, did Bill Clinton? Did he come up with this legislation for the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act?
Yo,
No,
Joseph,
No.
it was Senator John McCain, guys.
Joseph,
Yeah,
a lot
it was McCain.
Guys, come on. What is the matter with you people?
of
It
people.
was McCain. It was McCain. You're right.
Look, the House and the Senate, they come up with the bills that get passed through Congress. The only thing that the president can do is either sign off on it or veto. That's
Yep.
it.
One of the two.
They
That's
don't.
what,
The president signs executive orders and he can't touch this. This is already a law, guys.
yep. Yep. It's a done deal. HR 1832, 106 Congress, 1999 to 2000. It's a done deal.
That's it. Amended in 2003, and it hasn't been touched since.
No, they ain't gonna touch it.
So once again, you can bribe Trump all you want, but that doesn't affect the House or the Senate, brother. Come on now.
No, they make the bills.
Look, I'll give
They
you
make
a business lesson now in boxing.
they write the bills.
If a fighter gets shortchanged with the transparency that we have in place with the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act, then he needs to fire his management immediately because they get to see the books.
But this Ali Act needs a change because what was the Ali Act when De Los Santos was getting robbed by Samson Lekowicz?
Did he know exactly how much? Exactly. All of us knew how much. He signed that agreement. That was his own damn fault. And guess what? He is now a free agent. He just gave Samson Lukowicz the axe, didn't resign with him.
But shouldn't there be any consequences? Like the Ali Act should have something.
Oh my gosh, God, look. No one in the House or the Senate, I don't care if Republicans have a majority. No one is going to support taking protection away from the fighters. Dude, once again, you can suffer from Trump derangement syndrome all you want on your own. But don't bring it on this platform because that's not how the government works, brother. He's not the Antichrist. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Dave.
That's a done deal. It's a done deal. It's it's a House resolution. It's been passed.
Hawker, so. I wholeheartedly agree with you, my friend. Let's talk about boxing. Right? We've already put that one to bed. Just paid is like late to the party. That's all. Look, rewind to the first hour, paid. You can hear us banter about this for 50 minutes. Okay? Guys, let's talk about Manny Pacquiao versus Gervonta Davis.
Oh, God.
Guys, does anyone want to see this?
I'd rather see Erickson Lubin fight Berdizaliev.
Oh, man, I love that fight. And guys, I'll tell you what other fight I love with our brother Ronnie, who's right now in Boca Raton, Florida, shooting a documentary about Evander Holyfield. It's going to be outstanding. For yes, sir. Look, Joe, did you see Big Rick's recent tweet about what? PBC or Top Rank? Now, Rick is like, oh, Top Rank, they're going to have a deal soon. Look, guys, they're done. They're done. Top Rank's done, guys. Without solid leadership, our country was almost done.
Yeah.
So, Top Rank, they've got no chance under Todd DeBuff's leadership. None. Look. Paid is the only thing political I'm going to say about this tonight. Trump derangement syndrome, and he says, not a real thing. Brother, it's a real thing on both sides. On the far left, oh, they think he's Hitler. It is, and they hate everything that he touches. If he's for something, oh, they're going to be far against it. But on the other side, on the far right, they think this asshole walks on water. Guys, I'm sorry. No president has that much power, guys. And if there's only one source who's going to be able to unify this country, if that's possible, and that's Jesus Christ. I'm sorry.
Hey, yo, Joseph, that's
Yes,
probably like the realest I ever heard you say.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Neverfold?
I said definitely the realest shit I ever heard you say.
That's it, man. Thank you, Jesus. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. So, guys, and once again, the Holy Spirit told me this a long time ago, and I've made videos about this. Guys, don't worry. Quit having this fear and hatred for one guy, because the Lord has his hand on this country and his children. Okay, keep your eyes focused on Jesus, and you don't have to fear what other men fear. He is your provider and your protector, your strong tower, your refuge in the storm. Dude, that's why I don't sweat any of this. Dude, you really think I give two shits about politics? No, God's in charge. And if you put him first in your life, you don't have to fear any of this stuff, because God's in charge of your life and everything. He is the sovereign ruler over everything, guys. Understand. And look, Fuego, thank you for bringing us back to boxing. Hold on, let me show this. He says, yes, the casual fan would like to see Tank versus Pacquiao. That's exactly why PBC is going to make this fight if he stays out of jail.
Yo,
But there is a possibility that he could go back to jail, directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200.
What did he do?
He beat up his ex girlfriend,
Oh, jeez.
his baby mama.
What the hell's wrong with him?
He been doing that for a hot minute now. But hey, like with Tank and stuff, he's done because he's trying to fight.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Neverfold. I'm going to address this real quick. Okay. This is a prophetic message from the Holy Spirit that I was given months ago. ICE is going to be under heavy scrutiny this fall, and they're going to be forced. The government's going to be forced to shut ICE down.
What?
Yep. And
Now,
what they're going to do is shut it down temporarily, rename it, and do things a little differently. So ICE, as we see it today, and it is getting out of hand, guys.
now
It's starting to look like Gestapo in World War II. Okay. So it's going to be under scrutiny, and I already know this to be true. And once again, guys, when you see this happen this fall, remember, this is living proof that the living God is not just an uninterested bystander, but has his hand on everything in this country. And that's why he gives us this information. Those who have the prophetic gift, this is why he gives this. So you know that God is in charge. So if you haven't already turned to Jesus Christ, what are you waiting for?
yo, guys in the chat, man, can we keep it boxing? Now, like I was saying about the Tank thing, Tank is done because he's trying to fight
he's done, guys.
Pacquiao and Jake Paul. Like he's literally trying to cash out.
Let me ask you guys something. You brought up Jake Paul, and we're going to start with you this, and we're going to go counterclockwise. You this? Do you think Jake Paul makes the Anthony Joshua fight a reality next year?
Absolutely not. He's never gonna take a real fight. There will be a moment. Yeah, there will be a moment where he will say, he will end up saying, you know what? I'm very busy being a promoter, so I can take these real fights anymore.
Well, look, guys. Look. Hold on. Joseph pulled out his green card at an orange light. Guys, I don't care about politics. I answer to one master. I answer to one party, and that's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Stop it. Okay? I don't care about politics. I couldn't care less about it. In fact, both parties are full of shit. Both parties want the same thing. They both want your taxpayer money, and they both want to spend it without censorship.
That's a fact.
Okay, so stop this, guys. If you want to know the real, quit worrying about politics, guys, because these guys don't care about you. I'll tell you someone who does, Jesus Christ. Okay, now let's get back to boxing. No more politics, okay? And I'll try to keep my faith out of this show. But look, you already know who sponsors this show each and every episode. And that's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, always. Alberto, my brother in Christ, good to see you, man. It's good to see you back on here, man. I've missed you, brother. God bless you, man, and I hope you and your family are doing well. Guys, look, I'll say this. Someone has given him terrible intel. Someone has given him terrible intel, Jake Paul. Because from what I understand, people close that I trust have told me that he genuinely believes that Anthony Joshua is a shot fighter and that he's catching him at the right time. In fact, I think he's going to make this fight, and it's a severe miscalculation. But I will say this. It would be one of the biggest fights that you could make in the entire world in 2026.
Yep.
Never
That's right.
fold? Never fold? Do you think Anthony Joshua is done? Do you think he's a shot fighter, or do you think he just got pulled by Daniel Dubois?
Nah, I just think that
Guys,
Dubois he was just on hot streak and he caught him when he caught him. But as far as like, he's still top 5 or top 6. So yeah, he's not done in my opinion.
Anthony Joshua beat the living Donnie do out of Jake Paul.
Guys,
well,
it
guys,
would
can
be
I tell you
garbage.
something, please?
It would, yeah, in a second, you're right after me. Guys, this would look exactly like Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. Go ahead, this.
Yeah, if this fight happens and it is a big ticket seller, no wonder why boxing is in trouble in the US.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
be
a Disney
surprised. Here,
show.
listen,
He's right. It's a damn Disney
here,
show.
listen. This is how the business works. If Jake Paul makes this fight, he's going to demand options on Anthony Joshua's next 3 fights. Because not only is this going to put Anthony Joshua back on the big stage, and everyone's going to say, oh my gosh, he's back. He did something that we've all wanted someone to do. Jake Paul is going to cash in. This is good. He is not cashing out on Anthony Joshua. He's going to demand options on his next 3 fights. That means he's going to get 20% of what Anthony Joshua makes on his next 3 fights.
What?
I tell you what. Yeah, that's
Wait,
what promoters do. If you want to fight this guy, then you're going to have to pay the fiddler. Dude, who do you think came up with that? And promoters still use that to this day. That's a tactic that the mob used to use. So even if you beat their guy, they still won. They stacked the odds in their favor. Fuego, Although I prefer Paul versus Wilder. You know what? This? Does Paul have a chance against Deontay Shot Wilder?
No,
No.
never,
God.
never.
I don't know. Terrell Herndon hung in there, brother, and he sucks.
But they are
But
real
Hendon-
fighters. They are real boxers.
I don't know.
This guy,
I
this
might
guy
actually
couldn't get rid of
look. Be
Chavez.
honest. I'll be honest. I might actually pick Jake Paul against Terrell Herndon.
I wouldn't pick Jake Paul against any real boxer.
we
Jake
seen
Paul beats Wilder. Eric Gomez thinks so. And you know what? I think that's an interesting fight.
Don't you think? Don't you think
Yo.
this type of fight is what scares away the hardcore fans?
Yeah, it
I'm
does.
sorry. I'm sorry. What are do the hardcore fans? Are they even a factor any longer? Are they paying for anything?
Well, I think they are because
Where do you live? And just name the country. You don't have to name the city or the address or
I live
anything.
currently I live in Colombia.
Colombia. Okay. Well, boxing is still a mainstream pastime there. Okay.
Not really.
So you see it on regular TV, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for pay-per-view prices in Colombia. You see it on regular TV. Okay.
Only if I want to watch that song.
Okay. Well, in America, boxing diehards, the overwhelming majority are stealing everything. Why do you think we're seeing all these circus events? Why do you think they're a thing? Because the only time pay-per-view does well and the only time huge ratings happen in the American market is when the big names are involved. Jake Paul, unfortunately, guys, is a huge name in the American market.
But what I mean is, if Jake Paul is a big name in American market, it means boxing is doing really bad. And
Dude, have you been listening to this entire show? That's what we've been saying.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry, but Jake Paul is a much bigger name at this time than D. And that pains me to say this.
if you add the fact that many fighters are avoiding fights, this also scares away the real fans.
I'm sorry, who cares? They're not paying for anything anyway. That's the point.
Jake Paul versus Canelo
Dude, do you
would be
really,
bigger.
Do you really think? Now, guys, remember this. Before Turkey Al-Sheikh made Canelo Alvarez an offer he couldn't refuse. Hold on real quick.
He was going to fight Jake Paul.
Neverfull. Do you remember who Canelo was going to fight on Netflix before Turkey Al-Sheikh made him an offer he couldn't refuse?
Jake Paul.
That's right. Why is that, kids? Okay, so I'm going to say this. Guys, in WaraWeek Boxing, it's where we only speak the facts. Sorry, that was a special request by our brother Eric. Look, guys, once again, it's boxing right now is in a very bad way in the American market. It's healthy everywhere else, especially the UK. And guys, I'm telling you, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua would be a much bigger event than Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. It would be massive all over the world, including the United States. Even if it came on during the day, people would purchase. Do you know how many people purchased it on ESPN pay-per-view? Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury? That was over 1 million, guys.
Yeah.
I think Jake Paul fighting a nobody would be a bigger fight than Canelo Crawford. It would sell
Yeah.
much more.
It would.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I would beg to differ. Or nobody? Come on, stop that.
Oh no! Wait a minute. What did he say?
He said Jake Paul versus a nobody would be a bigger fight than Canelo. Crawford.
No. Canelo Crawford is really making waves among the mainstream and casual fans. Like, this is going to be a massive fight, guys. Not as big as Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, but it's going to be the biggest fight of the year by far.
I think it's gonna be a huge disappointment.
Hold on, Darrell. When did I? Oh, yeah, it's because James Gogi didn't want to go. That's right. I was supposed to go with James Gogi, and he said he's not wasting his time. And so I didn't want to go. Although, you know what?
Gogi.
You know what? I knew a lot of people that went to that fight with Mario Barrios, and I still didn't want to go, man. Without James Gogi, I didn't want to go. Gogi, if you've never seen a fight with him, it is genuinely an educational experience. He will tell you, like Emmanuel used to. I miss Emmanuel every day, guys. But he used to tell you, like he will tell you, James, everything that is going to happen in the fight before it happens.
So Jose, when Crawford cooks Canelo, man,
Yeah.
don't be crying blood that day and making excuses, man.
Brother, I don't care.
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking to Jose.
Oh, Chavez. Okay. Yeah.
He's crazy.
Oh, Jose Chavez. I'm sorry. People call me Jose also. I'm brother Joseph. I'm sorry. But yeah, look, Jose, Canelo, he is on the back nine, and he'll be shot in his next two fights. That's the real reason why he's not fighting Benavidez. That's the real reason why he's not fighting any real fighter at 68. And that's the reason why he's never going to fight Hamza Shiraz, even though Turkey wants him to.
Well, I have a different opinion. You know, I think Canelo is gonna beat Crawford in that fight.
Look, Darrell, brother James Gogi, I always let him talk. Anyone who knows what they're talking about, I let them talk. You, if you came on my channel, I would never let you talk because you wouldn't know a left hook from a fish hook. Yes, that's the reality, guys.
Hey,
Okay,
Joseph,
so
let me
once
ask you
again,
this.
hey, Darrell, let the adults speak, man. Shut up. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. So, let me say this real quick. So, Canelo faced Munguia. Munguia faced Sriracha, got knocked out. Canelo faced Berlanga. Then Berlanga went and did a cherry pick. He fought his uncle that did 10 years in prison. Then after that, he got knocked out by Shiraz. Like, the last time he got a knockout was in 2021 against Caleb Plant, right?
That's right.
So what are we talking about with the destroy? Has he been? Did he destroy Trano 54 times?
Never fold. I am in full agreement with you, and I'm on the bandwagon. And I think Crawford outpoints him.
Cooks him. Another Floyd.
Well, I don't know about cooks him. If you think it's going to be another Errol Spence performance, no.
When I mean cook, I'm talking about on the level of Floyd, the Bivol, that type of cooking.
I don't think so. I don't think Terrence engages. I hope it's as entertaining as both of those fights, because both of those, Floyd, Erislandy Lara, Golovkin, Bivol, all the fights that I believe Canelo lost, they're not going to be that entertaining. I can't see Terrence engaging that much.
And what's gonna happen when Terrence Crawford's punches had no effect on a bigger guy like Canelo? And about the legs, you can say he has been slowing down and stuff, but he was on School's ass the whole fight, all of the 12 rounds.
So am I the only one that's seen that School beat Canelo?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So when Canelo had School,
This is hilarious.
he was not letting his hands go, right?
Sorry, come again?
I said when Canelo had School in a corner, he was not letting his hands go, right?
No, he wasn't able to land a punch because this guy's school was moving a lot.
Nope, because he was scared to get countered. How you got somebody in a corner, you not letting your hands go. You did all the cutting off the ring. Now he's stationary. Let your hands go, because School was countering him off the back foot in a corner, bro. Literally, that's why he wouldn't let his hands go with all this. Oh, this and that big beard.
Well, look. To Eudis's defense, and everyone who felt that Skull didn't do enough to earn a decision. If I were the judge at ringside, I would have scored each round 10-10.
You said you would have what?
Scored each round 10-10 because neither fighter deserved to win that fight.
Yeah, that's a respectable.
I would have scored that fight 120 to 120 a draw.
Which fight was what?
And said, you know what? Give Turkey his money back. I would have scored also Haney versus Ramirez the same exact way.
Hell no, you can't do that. Ramirez wasn't doing
both fights were abysmal.
But look,
and I would have demanded my money back if I were Turkey, and I would have scored every round 10-10 because neither guy did enough to earn a victory.
Who threw the less punches though?
Who cares? No, neither fighter did enough to earn a victory. Neither fighter. Oh, Fuego, he says this. Dude, Crawford gets hit. Yes, ask Igas Kawayaskes. I was there covering that fight that night. The question is, will Canelo be able to catch him with some shit? Crawford doesn't fight like Bivol. No, he doesn't. But he's also a switch-hitting badass, which Bivol isn't. Okay, so once again, okay, let's give you this analysis, guys. Let's give you this analysis. What gives Canelo the most trouble in the ring?
Boxers.
No, let's be specific. What specifically gives Canelo the most trouble?
Keeping him in the center of the ring, jabbing a lot.
No, you hit the nail on the head. It's the intelligent jab. Crawford, if he works behind an intelligent jab, and especially with Canelo's depleting reflexes, he's going to freeze Canelo all night long. And look, to Neverfold's defense and to his point, Canelo, you saw him cut off the ring and let his hands go effectively against Caleb Plant, eventually catching him in the late rounds. Why couldn't we do that against William Skull?
Good point.
Because his reflexes are shot. He's a shot fighter, guys. And I told you guys this before that fight. He was going to look like shit because I saw video of him working out. He's old. He's not explosive anymore. Guys, he's going to have trouble pulling the trigger. Hold on. Fuego? Dude, what do you think an intelligent jab is? Okay, so an intelligent jab, guys, and this is from Emmanuel Stewart and James Gogi. It's when you mix touch jabs, feints, and hard stab jabs to the body, chest, and head, and do it in disjunct and irregular intervals. It keeps a counterpuncher like Canelo off balance. It freezes him. Why do you think Usyk had so much success against Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury? Two prolific counterpunchers. If you lay back and allow Terrence Crawford to dictate the pace of the fight, he's going to freeze your ass. You've got no choice but to try and cut off the ring and close the distance effectively. He tried to do that against Skull. He couldn't. And why? Because he's old and he's damn near shot. Look at his reflexes. You've seen Canelo get hit more in his last 5 fights than he ever did in his first 40.
Now, with the Skull fight, he wasn't willing to go out on his shield, and he wasn't being thirsty, trying to get a knockout. He ain't showed no grit, none of that. He was just there just to be there.
And he couldn't pull the trigger, could he? You saw it too.
Did he try to though? Doesn't he have a chin?
No. Crawford Canelo is a fighter. He's fearless. And of course he's trying to win the fight. but he couldn't pull the trigger. I saw it, and I saw it with video in camp as well.
Now, let me
And
ask you this.
and I told you guys he was going to look like dog. You remember? Didn't I tell you he was going to look like dog shit in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, I remember, and I know he was gonna look like that.
Now, Joseph, let me ask you this: did you see him try and like he was thirsting over a knockout?
No. In fact, he blamed his pitiful performance on William Skull just running, and he's going to do the same when he loses to Crawford.
Like, where
Do you
was
think?
that?
Do you think
where,
that? Mhm.
where was
Go
that
ahead.
Mexican style that night versus school?
Where has it been, period?
Okay.
Well, he was pressing. He was pressing school.
Yeah, he wasn't letting his hands go.
When he had him stationary in the corner, what did he do? Nothing.
He got countered.
All right. And what about these punches to the arms or the shoulders? Do you think they have a much stronger effect on Crawford coming up from
Did
Walter?
you see them do that against Skull? No.
No, but
He couldn't
what
pull
if
the trigger.
Crawford gives him the
And
chance to?
why couldn't he pull the trigger? Because he's a shot fighter now, guys. He knows. Why do you think he's not fighting Benavidez? You know, I don't need to fight. No one can tell me I've earned the right to fight anyone. He's basically saying he's on a victory lap. He's on his way out. He's not going to fight anyone with a pulse.
Yep.
Now, let me say
He's
this.
done, guys. He's done.
Let me say this. A lot of you guys are hyping up Canelo, right? A guy that is begging Turkey during a press conference to get a smaller ring against a guy that's moving up 3 weight divisions, bro. If he believed in himself that much, he wouldn't be begging against a smaller fighter to get a small ring. What else you need? Blindfold?
Look, Canelo knows that he slipped. Why do you think he was interested in fighting Jake Paul?
Yeah. He's trying to.
He knows he slipped.
Yeah.
He knows this. He knows this. He's not oblivious. Now, once again, fighters are usually the last to know, though. To his defense, fighters are usually the last to know that they've fallen off a cliff, like Roy Jones. I'll give you a true story about Roy Jones. This is after he got knocked the F out by Glenn Koff Johnson, Antonio Tarver. He had nothing left. And he had a fight scheduled. I think it was Trinidad. And he ended up looking decent against a shot Felix Trinidad. And he looked decent against a shot Jeff Lacey. But that's not saying anything at all. Now, and I went and I was covering a fight in Denver, Colorado. It was Mike Alvarado versus Ruslan Provodnikov. Provodnikov won the belt that night. And Roy Jones was calling the fight on HBO. And in between fights, I went over and interviewed and talked to Roy. And I said, Roy, off the record, brother, you don't have to do this anymore. I said, why are you doing this? And he took great exception to that. He said, hey, man, you see that guy over there? And he pointed to Jim Lampley. He goes, he's old, but he's still at the top of his game. You're not asking him to be removed from HBO. I can still do it at a high level. Why are you asking me to step down? And I said, Roy, Jim Lampley's not taking punches to the face. We love you, man. And he didn't say anything after that. I gave him a hug and said, hey, God bless you, my friend. And I saw him last year at a TMB promotions event, and I reminded him of that. He said he remembered. And he said, thank you for saying that.
Roy Jones is a cool guy, man.
He's a great God-fearing guy. And my heart goes out to him because of his son. Oh, my gosh. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
I remember way back when he was in Korea in the amateurs, and he just beat the crap out of that Korean guy, and they gave the fight to the Korean guy, and I thought, wow.
The Olympics. Yeah, that was terrible.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Roy. I tell you what, Roy is as good as it gets, man. He's he's such a class act, man, and I love Roy. Hold on, man. I haven't seen this gentleman in a very long time. Hold on. The Boxing Scholar. Brandon, how you doing, man? It's good to see you, brother. We've got an event coming up at the Shrine Auditorium, August 16th. I'm going to be singing the Mexican national anthem, and I might be doing ring announcing this time. So, hey, man, dude, I'll get you credentialed. Be my guest. It's good to see you, brother. And yes, I have Bud. I have Bud winning this fight because Canelo's shot. And I know this to be true.
Even if Canelo wasn't shot.
Hey, you know what? You know what? Hold on, guys. Brandon, if you have time, come and join us, man. I just dropped the link. I want to hear what you have to say about this event. And I want to hear what you have to say about the Dana White trying to amend and repeal the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act. And I want to get your thoughts also on Top Rank. Where do they go from here? From what I've heard, guys, they're currently talking to a few networks, and one of them is TNT because they just lost basketball.
TNT trying to wait, wasn't they in was they ever in boxing? Or
No, never. Ted Turner has never been in boxing. You're thinking of USA Network.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you what, I would love for USA Network to get back into boxing. But once again, guys, it's that same dilemma. No one is watching TV anymore, guys. Why do you think they just let go of Colbert? Because no one's watching TV, and he just lost that network $40 million last year. Stephen Colbert. Guys, it's dead. No one is watching TV anymore. Everyone is watching streaming platforms.
Yep.
Like, do you know anyone who still has cable? Like me, the dinosaur, I still have DirecTV. But I'll be honest, the only reason why I still have DirecTV is because I depend on ordering every single year my MLB extra innings package because I have to see all the Cincinnati Reds games. I live in San Antonio. I'm out of market. So I love my Cincinnati Reds, who are, if season ended right now, we would make the playoffs as a wild card. Thank you very much. Woo! Guys, look, Jose Chavez might have the beat. ESPN might go out of the business. And look, that's the reason why they slashed boxing, because Disney is tanking as well.
Yep.
That's who owns ESPN. Never fold. Can you read your own comment here? I want to hear that, man.
Yeah, like I've been telling them this for the longest, man. When Crawford kicks Canelo, y'all gonna be crying blood. Just make sure y'all don't switch up. You feel me?
Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let me get the StreamYard link. I'm sorry. That was a link to my channel. My apologies, Brandon. Here you go, brother. There you go, brother. My apologies, my friend.
Remember years ago when they said the internet is not going to be anything, and it's just going to be a fly-by-night thing. And look what it's doing to cable TV, man. It's just tearing it apart.
Okay, ESPN just bought the NFL Network because more people watch the NFL Network these days.
Is that a fact?
Yep.
Yeah, WWE's still doing good too.
WWE's on Netflix.
They're always going to be around.
Look, I'll be honest. Oh, hold on. Will Bud get a decision? Yes, he will.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because look, let's go back to, guys, boxing history. A lot of people are comparing this fight to Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. And initially, I was like, no way. But after watching, his reflexes completely just eroded. I think that has a lot of similarities. We're going to ask right now, my brother, the Boxing Scholar. Good to see you, my friend.
What's good,
Answer this question, my friend. Will Bud get a decision? I think Canelo gets it unless Bud gets a KO. Do you agree with Brother Alberto?
No.
Hold on. Before we get your explanation, my brother Anthony, good to see you, my friend. My nephew. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. God bless you, brother.
God bless you. I don't think Bud gets the decision. I've said this from the beginning.
Well,
There's weight classes for a reason.
Wait for it, man. Wait for it. And I know that's going to kill you, but I asked Brandon first. Boxing scholar.
Hold on. Let me hear what he got to say, Justin. I want to hear what he got to say.
Okay, go ahead, Anthony. Thank you, brother.
For me, I don't care that styles make fights. I've said this from the beginning. Weight classes are there for a reason, and Bud is jumping. People forget he jumped. He started his career at 135 and
Yep.
stuff like that. He's a small guy and stuff like
Yep.
that. So I'll give him credit for jumping up, but to me, weight classes are there for a reason. I want to have faith that he's going to beat Canelo, but Canelo's a naturally bigger guy.
Yep, he is. He is. So, boxing scholar, what say you, sir?
At first, I said, okay. We got the elephant in the room is Canelo. You probably down 3 rounds already, right? But I said, it's a turkey a la cheat event, so maybe not. Maybe
Just say turkey a la cheat.
A la sheet. I just call him Turk.
Oh, okay. I thought you said turkey a la cheat.
No. But so Turkey was always holding hands with Bud, and I thought maybe Bud might be his favorite because every promoter got their favorite fighters. So I said maybe he favors Bud. But you know what? He did an interview on the Boxing Voice, and that was one of probably the best interviews I've ever seen with Turkey.
He was
and they asked him,
wasn't he?
Yes, he was very frank. He made jokes. He clowned them. I'd never seen him that loose before, But whenever he was in that interview, he basically said, "This is not charity. I'm not in the boxing to lose money, and I've lost money on some events."
I told you guys. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
That made me think like, okay, all right. Well, if you said that, well, then the natural business decision is Canelo. So now we back to business as usual. So now Bud goes in down 3 rounds, maybe 2, right? And then I looked at it, and you're right. Canelo is shot, right? He's on the decline, but Bud is too. He didn't look the last fight with Masvidal. Listen, everybody thought, including Bud, that's why he invited Eminem to the fight, that he was going to ice Masvidal. He thought that was going to be a real simple fight.
Right out of the gate. And once again, I told everyone, including Thomas Schreiber, a dear friend of mine. You know Thomas, man. He was there at that event that you were kind enough to cover for us. Our humble event in San Antonio, sold out downtown. Thomas Schreiber was at the event, and I told him, look, I said, people are going to start walking out after Eminem performs. And he was like, well, Joe, why do you say that? And I said, look, brother.
A little bit earlier. Not only did he take us into a late event, but he had a concert. It's like, bro, if you want to go to see Eminem, we'll pay for his concert. We're here for boxing,
Well, a lot of people were walking out after Eminem, and I was right about that. And I was also right about the terrible style matchup. Look, Madrimov, he's a very disciplined counterpuncher who's not going to take the lead. And honestly, neither is Terrence Crawford. If he knows you're a counterpuncher, he's going to fight like a Cuban. One thing I will say about Crawford, he is not above stinking out the joint to get the victory. Like, look at his fights. If he doesn't get the knockout, they're downright uneventful, except for the Errol Spence fight, which he owned him as early as round 1. He took away that jab. It was a masterful performance. Don't expect the same thing against Canelo. He will use lateral movement. He will try to walk him into traps, and he'll use the intelligent jab from both positions, southpaw and orthodox, to try and freeze the prolific counterpuncher who's Canelo Alvarez. It's going to be like watching grass grow. And in my opinion, Crawford is going to win a very boring decision. And it's going to be a split decision victory, depending on who the judges are. And look, let's be honest. Like I said, look at the Porter fight. Look at the Porter fight before the knockout. It was a snoozer, and whenever Porter got on the inside and tried to fight, he did his Devin Haney impression and tried to wrap him up like an octopus, and he was a strong guy.
Do you think Canelo's going to allow him to wrap? That's the question. Canelo's way too smart for that, allowing...
well, you're talking about a guy with a huge background of grappling. Canelo's never faced a guy who has that kind of strength on the inside and ability to grapple you. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be a real stinker. And I'm convinced, guys, boxing in the American market is cursed. Because every single time we get an event that attracts mainstream and casual fans, it never delivers, guys. Just like Don Chargan said before Mayweather Pacquiao. Well, guys, with all the hoopla surrounding this event and all the publicity, it had better deliver. It had better sizzle on the big stage, because if it doesn't, it's going to be bad for the health of the sport. Guys, I'm saying the same thing. And this matchup is quite possibly the worst stylistic matchup you could have chosen on this stage.
And this is why I'm pissed off at.
Look, I will say this, Turkey Al-Sheikh, you better put a real sizzler in the co-main event. In my opinion, he should put Anthony Yarden Benavidez in the co-main event. He should put Beterbiev in the co-main event. He should put Morrell versus Smith in the co-main event. If he doesn't, he's a damn fool, because this main event is going to stink out the joint, guys. It's going to be like watching grass grow.
Joseph, the way that whole card is only going to be the main event. The main event that's going to be entertaining. All the other fights I've been hearing about, I'm not too like.
Oh my gosh,
hyped about
it. Look! Our club shows, and look, the Boxing Scholar has been to our club shows. They're exciting. We match them up hard. We match our guys up tough. They have to learn something, and they have to sell tickets. And we match all of our guys up tough. We put our ticket sellers in positions to win, but they're going to be tested, and they might lose if they don't show up. I guarantee you, our club shows are going to look spectacular compared to what we see on September 13th. If they do not put Morrell versus Smith in the co-main event, or Benavidez, if they change from what I'm hearing, Beterbiev Bivol might not happen until next year.
Yeah, that's what they said in Russia next year.
Okay, so what are they going to put in the co-main event? It had better sizzle. Do you guys have any ideas?
I haven't heard no good fights on that main event.
Virgil Ortiz isn't going to be ready until next year. His hand is injured.
How about Benavidez? How about Bam?
Bam
just fought.
Oh, he did?
He just fought.
Yeah, he just fought last Saturday.
But he's the type of guy that I think would.
So who are you going to put? Once again, who are you going to put on the co-main event? No, he's not going to fight in a unification bout. His next fight they've already determined who his next opponent's going to be, and it's going to happen on the undercard in a Riyadh season event, from what I'm hearing, December 27th on the undercard of Inoue versus AJ Akhmadaliev. We're going to cover that next. I want to get Boxing Scholar's take, as well as you this.
Hey, Joe, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
This is a statement for me. This is why I'm pissed off at David Benavidez a little bit for saying all those comments about you pissed off your biggest matchup in your career.
Guys, look like Anthony. Stop it, man. Because look, and I hate to say that, but it's obvious now from what we've seen in Canelo, and I told you guys from the footage that I'd seen of him in camp, he was a shot fighter. His reflexes are gone. He's not explosive any longer. He can't pull the trigger like he used to. That's the real reason why he didn't fight Benavidez. Now, I had stuck up for Canelo, saying, hey, you don't get a Canelo fight by calling him out like that and treating him with disrespect. You don't do that. He's the A side. He's the guy with the gold. You better buy him a nice dinner and ask him nicely, because you bring nothing to the table. Now,
Joseph, that was recent. The footage you seen?
I'm sorry. What
was the footage you seen? Like it was in this camp for Bud.
Yep. No. This was before the skull fight.
I don't know.
I saw that he wasn't explosive. He couldn't pull the trigger. His reflexes are shot. Guys, don't be shocked if Crawford wins this fight in a real snoozer.
Yeah, and people also, fans forget that Canelo started his career pro career at 16, right? 15.
Yep.
So,
and let's be honest, not even that Reynoso 57 steak sauce can help him at this time.
Honestly, he needs to. His ego's not going to allow him to retire, but he needs to retire.
This is the real reason why he was going to fight Jake Paul, guys. Understand this. He knows. Canelo knows. He's a smart man. He knows. This is the real reason why I'm saying, you know what? I deserve to fight whomever I want. I've earned that right. No one's going to be able to tell me who. Like, you really think he's going to take on Hamza Shiraz?
Hell no.
No.
No. Boxing scholar.
I think
How do you see Canelo Crawford playing out?
I think, Canelo's gonna win. I got Canelo by decision. I think even though he's slipping, I think that, like we always say, weight class is for a reason. I think the jump is too much, and I think Canelo's gonna be. You remember when he fought Mel? How he looked? Nobody beats that version of Canelo. It's because Mel was a smaller guy being drug up, and it's the exact same situation again. Even if Canelo shot, he could beat Mel if that was his next fight.
I'll be honest, and I know the inside to this. The reason why Mel didn't even try to win that fight and didn't engage, tried to make the finish line because he was ringside, saw his stablemate, Errol Spence Jr., get pieced up and stopped right in front of his face, and it did something to him. He hasn't been back since, guys. That traumatized him. That did something to him. He never tried to win that fight. Crawford will not go out like a bitch like that. He won't. Crawford is going to try to win the fight. He's a competitor. He's a winner. Now, is he above stinking out the joint? No, he's not above stinking out the joint to win. But he will do whatever it takes to win.
I'm gonna just say this, Joe. It's a totally different look from the outside of the ring than the inside of the ring. And Bud was talking stuff about Mel quitting. But when you jump up that many weights and you get hit on by Canelo, he might want to quit too. One thing Bud said that sticks out of my mind, Joe.
Go ahead, sir.
He said whenever he was when he finally got the Spence fight that he was training and he was about to retire because Bud works out 7 days a week and that takes a toll on your body itself. And he said he was like he said he was losing his desire for the game and he wasn't getting the fight. And he said right when he was about to quit, he got the call and then the Spence fight was made. But if they say in a fighter when retirement creeps up in your head, it's not far. It's not far away. So I think Bud.
Devontae Davis, you're right.
So yeah, I think Bud has. I think if there's any time to beat Canelo, it would be now. So that is true. But Bud is doing he's doing the right thing as far as career. Because if he does beat him, he's going to be considered one of the greats, if not the greatest. He'll make a good case for himself, right? But at the same time, I would be extremely shocked if he pulled this off because I watched him spar with Adames, right? And this was Bud, and Bud was doing really good. This is like I think 140 Bud. And he was doing really, really good against them. But it was because I think for a 140 against a big guy, a middleweight, he doing pretty good. He was making a good account. He wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. Crawford is a winner. He's a guy who's going to try to win. He's a winner, man. He's got that winner mindset, just like Bernard Hopkins, just like Oscar De La Hoya, just like Manny Pacquiao, just like Floyd Mayweather. He's going to try to win and to win at all costs. Now, once again, we've all seen he is not above stinking out the joint to get the W. Look at the Victor Coastal fight.
But you know what? Scholar says something very important, and it got my attention, and I want to talk about it as well. Because let's say Crawford pulls it off, and he beats Canelo, right?
Yep.
What does it mean? Does it mean Canelo is shot, or does it mean that Crawford is that good enough to wipe the division, to clean out the division?
Look, honestly, I think it's a little bit of both. Because Crawford is not going to fight any of the other monsters at 68, including Hamza Shiraz. It's the one and done thing. In my opinion, guys, and we're going to hear from Peter, and we're going to also hear from Neverfull. I don't care who the hell wins this fight. I just hope it doesn't stink out the joint. Like, honestly, I couldn't care less who wins. I just hope the health of boxing wins. I hope the fans win. I hope the health of the sport wins. I couldn't care less about Canelo or Crawford. I don't care. I want to see a great fight on this stage, damn it, for once.
Joe, I have a question, but
Yes.
being that Canelo's a smart guy, do you really think he's gonna allow, like, Canelo being the experienced fighter that
It's
he
not about
is gonna allow?
allowing. Look, it's not about allowing. It's
Now,
about having no choice. He's shot. He's got
Anthony,
no reflexes, Anthony.
did
Can't pull the trigger, Anthony.
did Canelo allow everything that happened versus school?
I don't
He had
like.
no choice. That's my point, guys. He has no choice.
That's a fact, Joseph.
Dude, do you really think he wanted to stink out the joint like that? Do you really think he wanted to get frozen by the much faster, much more athletically gifted guy at the time, William Skull? Do you really think he wanted to put forth that embarrassing performance where he couldn't cut off the ring effectively, couldn't let his hands go, he was getting countered?
Man, William Skull beat Canelo.
Look, I'm sorry. No
What?
Yes,
dude, that is your opinion, and you know what? You can make a case for that. But boxing scholar, if you were one of the judges that night, how would you have scored that fight? Canelo versus Skull.
I don't think I gave Skull around. How can you give a man that threw 2 punches the fight? That's
Canelo
crazy.
or Skull? Which one?
Canelo, easy.
No one was throwing punches that night. That was the problem. Like, what happened to the guy who was able to cut off the ring and knock the guy out like he showed against Caleb Plant?
So
Where was that guy?
But Joseph, I think that was, you know what? I think that was a touch of, Joseph. I think that was a touch of, this was a tune-up fight to get to the Canelo fight. The check is already there. Why would I take any risks? I'm going to just cut the ring off, make it a sparring session. The money's good. Like, why would he try to push in the Skull fight? Skull is a more dangerous opponent than Bud, in my personal opinion.
Okay, obviously you didn't see the Shishkin fight.
Let me ask you this.
The Shishkin fight was downright deplorable. And in my opinion, just like the Canelo Skull fight, I would have scored it 10-10 every round. No one deserved to win that fight. Just like Shishkin and Skull. Both guys didn't let their hands go. It was a terrible fight.
So, Joe, you would have gave the fight a draw? You would have made Skull versus...
I would have scored it 120 to 120 because that was downright abysmal. And I would have demanded, I would have withheld the purses of both fighters.
So they would have been forced into a rematch if you were the judge.
No, dude. Honestly, I would say scrap this shit. No one wants to see it. And you know what? If I were Turkey Al Sheikh, I would have withheld the purses. And I would have said, look, Canelo, I'm not paying you to do this. If this is what I'm going to get for that kind of money, you can go to Netflix. You can fight Jake Paul. Kiss my ass.
But you know what? That's his fault, though, Joseph. Because he was trying to blackball the Jake Paul versus Canelo fight. He had to give him the Skull fight. So
that's right. What you give is what you get. What you give is what you get. Peter, you've been awfully quiet and we've been talking too much. What say you, my friend?
No, my personal opinion, I think Canelo's going to win. I think he's going to win the fight as much as I want Bud to win because he's, from Nebraska and I'm from Wisconsin. He's kind of Midwest. Always like the hell out of Bud Crawford, but I got to tell you, I just don't see it happening. Well, that's, that's the way I look at it.
Again, there are no right or wrong answers at this stage.
Absolutely.
Guys.
Let me ask
your opinion is as good as anyone's.
So
I am hoping that we see a knockout. That's what I'm hoping. I hope somebody knocks somebody out in this phone. You're predicting a stinker, and I'm hoping for a knockout from somebody.
Look, bro. Look, I'm not a pessimist. I'm hoping and hopeful that someone knocks someone the fuck out. Pardon my French. But I'm a realist. And I'm sorry, I've seen both Crawford and Canelo be content with stinking out the joint.
Yeah, I know exactly. I know precisely what you're getting at, but I hope it doesn't go that way because the American market doesn't need that.
It doesn't go that way too. Now, hold on. Neverfold, what were you saying, sir?
It's truly sad how people are saying that they're hoping for a knockout win. We got a guy that's moving up three weight division, and Canelo's begging for a smaller ring. That's how sad it is for Canelo. You feel me?
One thing, yeah. Look, that's terrible. And once again, those are Canelo fans for you. Boxing scholar,
I'm here.
are Canelo fans giving Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fans a run for their money?
I think any fan you deal with. I mean, can't spend fanatic without fan. They all crazy when they love somebody.
That's a very good point. Look, man. I will ask you this: weren't you shocked when everyone seemed to be falling for the Turkey Al Sheikh prank, saying that, oh, we're going to see a shrinking ring in Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda?
So you know,
And fans actually believe that bullshit. Weren't you in shock? And guys, it's a testament that, you know, a lot of these guys say they're diehard fans, but they still don't know shit about boxing. Boxing scholar, your thoughts?
I'm not gonna lie to you, Joseph. I was one of the people that got catfished.
No,
Let me tell you why.
don't tell me.
Hold on, let me tell you.
Look, guys,
Let me,
once again, maybe I'm just being too critical because I work with these commissions, and I already know that I work with these contracts. And so I already know that the size of the ring is always negotiated and placed in the contract. And the New York State Athletic Commission, nor Texas, Florida, California, Nevada, they would have never allowed that. How could you possibly allow that? And they have to inspect the ring. If you decided to move it in, they would have to inspect everything to make sure it's safe for the fighters. And that would cost way too much time in between, even if they allowed that. But fighters would never go for that. Shakur would have never signed on that contract if that were the case, because it's always negotiated before the contract is signed.
well, Joe, I say this: everybody plays the never have I ever game until Turkey come with the bag of money, and then stuff just starts to happen. That's why I believed it, because he has so much money, Joe. I've seen people like, remember Canelo was making fun of him holding hands with somebody saying, I don't need Turkey. And then you fast forward, he's over there with Turkey. Tank, I need 2 Ferraris. Now he's like, oh, I'm open to work with Turkey. They always start off strong and then they end up like, well, you know, let's talk to him. You know, there's prize fighting. So I thought he had enough money where he could attempt some stupid stuff. I thought it was retarded, but I was like, hey, he got the money. He might be able to do it.
And once again, guys, if you think that Terrence Crawford can't punch, and if you think he's not on that shit, enter Victor Conte. Guys, they're both going to be on that shit on September 13th. But look, and here's a simple fact. Pretty much 99% of the fighters at the elite level are on that shit. So why else would they be working with a strength and conditioning coach like Victor Conte, Memo Heredia? Why do you think they look? Is it helping their endurance working with strength and conditioning coaches? No, dude. They're the drug pushers of boxing. They're on that shit. Crawford is no different. He's a winner, and he'll do everything he can to make this a level playing field, already anticipating that Canelo is going to be on that Reynoso 57 steak sauce. Guys, look, go throughout history. You do not move up in weight and increase your power. That never happens. Look at Sergio Maravilla Martinez. Was an average fighter, and still he started getting on that shit. And then all of a sudden he was knocking everyone out, including someone with a granite chin like Paul Williams. Guys, come on. Crawford and Canelo will be juicing to the nines. Is that going to help Canelo's reflexes? Is that going to help his ability to pull the trigger? No. Crawford, guys, is going to win in a real snoozer. Do I hope it's exciting? Do I hope someone gets knocked out? Absolutely, because then boxing would win on the night. But it's not going to happen, guys, because both guys want to win. They're winners. They're competitors. I don't care if it's a hot dog eating contest. Terrence wants to win.
Now, Joseph, let me ask you this. Was Canelo moving in his last fight versus Score? Was he moving like
he was trying?
To win?
He was trying to cut off the ring and close the distance.
Now, if you're not letting your hands go, how are you trying?
No. It's because, look, to cut off the ring and close the distance,
Okay.
you have to do exactly that. And I use it in that order, and Boxing Scholar can tell you why. Because if you don't want to look like you're just chasing around another fighter, you have to make sure that you cut off the ring first before trying to close the distance, or else you're going to be following around a guy who's going to following around your opponent who's going to be beating you to the punch, a la Erislandy Lara, Canelo Alvarez. That was back when Canelo didn't add that new wrinkle to his fight arsenal. But he knows how to do that now. And the problem wasn't cutting off the ring and closing the distance. The problem was whenever he got him against the ropes or in the corner, he couldn't pull the trigger. Guys, I saw it. I saw it before the fight happened. I told you this was going to happen, and this is my witness.
So technically,
we were on the show talking about it before the fight ever happened.
So Canelo wasn't willing to go out on his shield versus a fighter that's not even a puncher, right?
I'm sorry,
course
what?
not.
I'm sorry, go repeat that one more time.
I said, so Canelo wasn't down to go out on his shield versus a non-puncher.
Yes, of course not.
And risk the Crawford payday?
That's you gotta remember, bro. These are humans we talk about. These not robots.
Now remember also, to Boxing Scholar's point also, guys, what happened immediately following that fight? Guys, the fight was already signed before that fight ever happened. Crawford immediately went in the ring holding hands with Turki Al-Sheikh, and they announced it that night. Remember?
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me he was going to take risks against William Skull? No. He just wanted to make it to the finish line. He didn't care. This was a big paid advertisement for Canelo Crawford. It was what it was, guys. And it was a terrible evening. Dude, it was a terrible weekend of boxing. And that's another thing, guys. And we're going to end it on this. Guys, it's being negotiated currently. Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero 2 for November or December.
Wow.
We're going to go clockwise on this. Peter, you first.
Well, I don't think much of that one. Rolly Romero and Ryan Garcia. Seriously?
Does anyone don't want to see that shit again?
I don't even know why they do that.
Because Ryan Garcia can sell tickets. And there's no one else he can beat at 47. Like, let's be honest, the only guy he might be able to beat, and I even doubt this, is Mario Barrios. And even then, I think he loses with the jab. Like, honestly,
I think he does too.
This is the perfect time to make Ryan Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one.
Because both guys are flawed at this time. One's an old geezer, and the other one is a one-dimensional fighter.
Well, Boots is at 147. Why didn't you fight him?
Are you kidding?
That'd be it. Well, you know, Big
Boots
Mouth
has already decided.
Big Mouth Ryan.
Boots has already
Big Mouth
moved up
Ryan
to 54.
Garcia.
Don't even talk about Boots at 47 anymore. Never fold. Do you want to see a rematch?
Who asked for that?
That was me. Do you want to see a rematch between Ryan? Oh, no, you're saying who asked for the rematch?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, dude. Look, honestly, if anything, I would rather see a rematch between Ryan and Gervonta Davis and see Ryan go night-night again and possibly retire. And then have Manny Pacquiao fight Rolly Romero instead. A guy who can't fight worth a shit against an old man who should hang it up. Those are two more. I would love to watch that. But once again, Michael Shaw has the beat. Good to see you, my friend. Boxing is effed. Yes. For the amount of money that these guys are demanding. And this is what we're getting. Oh my gosh! Look, to tell you the truth, guys. In my opinion, Brad Goodman should leave Top Rank and start working for Sella and Riyadh season, because they need a decent matchmaker over there. Because these matchups lately are ass, guys. They are ass. Come on now. They are ass, dude. Look, who the hell wants to? Why are we getting Rolly versus Ryan again? Throw that in the garbage. Come on. Dude, that's nonsensical. And why are we building up Crawford versus Canelo like it's going to be some great fight? It's going to be the biggest disappointment since Pacquiao Mayweather. Oh man, we just can't win, guys. Michael Shaw has the beat. Okay, guys, we're almost 3 hours in, and I'm getting ready for bed. It's 2 p.m. in the East Coast.
Have you noticed that these ridiculous matchups only happen in America and not in the UK?
That's what I'm saying. And all of these ass clowns are demanding fortunes for these terrible, horrendous clown fights and matchups.
And they're getting the money.
In no other country and in no other market do you see this. And that's an excellent point, this.
This also weakens. Yeah, and this also weakens the boxing business in the US. And
that's what I've been saying for 3 hours, guys.
Well, you keep paying them.
Hey, brother Hands of Stone, how are you doing, my friend? Thank you for the vote of confidence. God bless you, man. I hope you and your family are doing well.
Hey, thanks for the conversation, guys. I got to go.
Your parting shots, brother Peter.
Well, my umbrella and my lawn furniture just took off because there's a big thunderstorm going on here.
That's excellent. That's good enough for me, brother. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful day tomorrow. God bless you, my friend. Okay, I love Peter, man. He's a great guy. And excellent guitar player, excellent musician. Guys, if you ever see him on YouTube, don't say I didn't warn you. He's one of the best acoustic guitar players I've heard and in the country today, right? This, give us your parting shots, brother, and tell us what's on your mind, man. The floor is yours. Take as long as you want.
Thank you. Well, great show, man. And I'm glad to see your channel growing every day stronger. And what else? Well, I think I like what I saw from Sayas. I think he with a few, let's say, 2 more fights, he can beat Fundora and Ennis. I'm sure of that. And about the Ronnie Romero, well, that's garbage, man. I don't want to see that fight. What else? The Top Rank issue. Yeah, I think they're gonna become like something like Provox. They will kind of work together.
That's terrible. That's terrible, man.
Yeah, but it's part of the modernization. Everything is like becoming digital now. Like it's gonna be Netflix or the song or platforms like that. But Top Rank is not like the major player it was 10 years ago. And the same goes for PVC. And it might happen as well with Queensbury. I don't know. And what else?
Go ahead, Peter. Keep going.
Yeah, I think we got Rugaru fighting this weekend. He's gonna fight a shot Jojo Diaz. I think he's gonna win by KO. And I think we got also Duarte.
Wait a minute. Regis Prograis versus Jojo Diaz?
I think so, yeah.
At what weight? 175?
140.
if Jojo Diaz can make 140, I'll be astonished. Last
Well,
time I saw him, he was walking around as a heavyweight.
well, I think last fight he was fighting Duarte and he lost by KO.
Well, hopefully,
But thank you
Eudes
guys. Thank you
Marias
so
can
much.
put him
Wonderful
out of
show.
his misery. Eudes, God bless you, man, and thank you for all of your contributions to this show. It's always better when you visit us, my friend. Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much.
And I tell you what, last comment then to our brother Neverfold Sports. Thank you for being here once again, man. It's just like you. The show is always better when you visit us. So thank you, my friend.
Yeah, good looking out for those positive comments. And when I first chopped it up with you, we had a great conversation. I'm like, whenever you on, I gotta make sure I pull up on you and show support. So keep doing you, bro. Keep saying what you feel like you want to say. But I'm not gonna say too much. But to the Canelo supporters and the Canelo fans, make sure y'all bet y'all money come September 13th, because y'all going around with all these excuses. Like, remind you, this is a guy that's coming 3 weight classes. He's moving up three weight classes. So make sure that y'all show proof that y'all bet on a fight. When Canelo loses, I don't want to hear y'all switching up. I want to see y'all crying blood and showing the ticket that y'all lost money, because y'all doing too much. Canelo haven't been shit since Caleb Plant. You feel me? He fought against Berlanga. Berlanga just got knocked out against Shiraz. He couldn't knock him out. He couldn't knock out a 54-pounder, Charlo. He couldn't knock out Munguia. Siraj had like 3 knockout. He just knocked them out. So it's like, what is y'all seeing? Feel me? So make sure y'all bet y'all money, because we know where it hurts the most. The pockets.
Very well said, my friend. And Eric Gomez says in his best Canelo voice, "I was born ready."
Yeah, he was born ready to duck Benavidez. That's what he was born. With that being said,
I love it.
Shout out to you for taking the time out your day to push, God stuff. That was like the most important thing you could have done, like, throughout the show. So
God bless you,
that
brother.
being
Thank
said,
you.
man, and God we trust, man. We gotta have Jesus.
Yes, amen, brother. All day, every day, brother. God bless you, man, and praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you for recognizing the King of Kings, the Prince of Peace, the God Most High, El Elyon, El Shaddai, the Alpha and the Omega, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Guys, always this show is brought to you by the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Guys, don't leave home without it. And if you haven't surrendered your life to Jesus, what are you waiting for? Because he's got a much better plan for your life than you could have ever dreamt. And you will experience a peace and a fulfilling love that you've never experienced. And that is way beyond, surpasses your understanding and perception. What are you waiting for, guys? Surrender your life to Jesus and start your path towards everlasting salvation. Eternal salvation, guys. Everlasting life. That's what Jesus gives you. God bless all of you guys, and I love all of you. Thank you so much for being a part of this podcast. And guys, and if you haven't already, please go subscribe to God's Perfect Love. We just surpassed 4,000 subscribers thanks to you guys. And if you can, please pass it around. Whoever might need that word of encouragement or need to hear the gospel. I put out videos every single day. I love all of you. God bless all of you guys. Have a wonderful evening.